Okay, and Mr. CCDB.
Hollywood,
California.
I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Magical talking fiction. A mecca of entertainment.
God,
Hollywood has
hold on
always
here.
been known as a land of romance and a sparkling beacon for a life of glamour.
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Beneath the clear blue skies of the San Fernando Valley is Universal Studios, a company whose name has always been synonymous with classic talking pictures. In addition to timeless masterpieces like these, Universal is also widely known for its thrilling theme park. Yes, these elements have all combined to make Universal Studios what it is today.
Watching another video.
But what
I'm
about
playing on
tomorrow?
the video.
If we don't keep in step with the times, things that once were neat and thrilling can become
How's
old
your,
and stupid.
live stream?
What is going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, this is
It's
never
not showing up on my main page.
Look out! It's a shark! Here it comes! The shark is coming!
That's right, old and stupid.
Look out! All you back there is in the back of the tram! Whoa! That is one big, scary shark. Oh, the humanity! Isn't that terrifying?
To keep up with the times, one must constantly modernize. And that's true for our studio, too. But how can we improve the studio? Well, first of all, in order for the studio to prosper in the future, we need to apply modern, futuristic ideas. The first of these ideas is being artist-friendly.
Sir, what does that mean, artist-friendly?
To find the answer, let's start where most people get their first impression of our studio, the front gate.
Hello.
Oh, look, here's MCA recording star Tracy Lords. She's thinking of acting in an upcoming film here at Universal.
Your papers, please.
But the attitudes of the guards and the bleak, unattractive surroundings make Miss Lords feel uncomfortable and unwelcome.
I feel uncomfortable and unwelcome.
Of course you do. But what if our gate was more artist-friendly? We'll start with the guards. Those dark uniforms connote oppression and conformity. But new outfits, with pastel colors and high, pretty collars, seem to say, I'm your friend, not your enemy. How about some inspiring buttons to show our optimism? And what about that security gate? Black and white lines may remind artists of police and fear, but a new gate, with attractive flowers and colorful birds, becomes a lovely decoration, not just a deterrent. Now with just a few more changes, and some attractive porcelain deer, our gate is now artist-friendly and ready for the future. So how do you feel now, Miss Actress?
I feel welcome and relaxed from a meeting at Universal.
That's splendid. Too bad the part you want will probably go to Demi Moore.
What?
Oh, nothing. Here, have a one coupon. Compliments of your new studio.
Thanks.
Now, don't open that until you park. Now, what else will make our studio artist-friendly? Well, how about that old black tower? In the past, many meetings have taken place there, but some people find it rather unappealing.
أنا جيت لأستثمر مبلغ كبير من المال.
Oh, absolutely. You know, foreboding is the word that best describes it. You know, it's like real severe, you know what I mean? Just the name like Black Tower, I never want to go there.
We certainly don't want to breed fear and contempt into our guests. So let's try some different colors. How about the white tower? Or the plaid tower? That's right. Now let's just add a porcelain deer for decorations.
Tell Ron Murray to be a man and say that to my face. An artist-friendly atmosphere should prevail, not only outside, but inside as well. A neat and tidy office, complemented with the proper flowers and appropriate decorative garnishes, will make artists feel at ease, and thus aid in the pitching process.
That's right, Andrew Bergman. But artist-friendly is also in how we treat each other.
Wait, Mike. Mr. Lobel. You forgot your profit participation check.
Wow, $8 million.
And have some Seagram's wine coolers. On us. And here's a little pig for the kids.
Oh,
Thanks for choosing Universal.
Neat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
There now, Kevin Misha. Doesn't that make you feel a lot better?
Why, yes. Yes, it does.
Yes, we can all do our part to make the studio a more beautiful, artist-friendly place.
Sweeten, enhance, beautify. Sweeten, enhance, beautify.
Sweet. Looks like James Cameron's got the idea. Say, Sean Cassidy.
Who, me?
How do you like those complimentary wine coolers?
I'm blitzed on this stuff, Ernie.
Sweet, enhance, beautify.
Gosh, with all the wonderful improvements going on around here, everyone is going to want to work at Universal.
Oh, dear God.
Yes, and that brings us to our second point. Now that we're artist friendly, it's time to build our talent roster. You see, sometimes making things more beautiful doesn't make them better. They can still be old and stupid. So we've spent a lot of money and brought in some of the best artists the world has to offer. Like stunning actress Demi Moore.
Yes, it's true. I did just join the Universal family. Casey, Hal, Ron, they're like fathers to me. Grandfathers, even. Besides, being with the Universal family makes me feel secure, so I have more free time to do the things I love, like baking ham. On, hands on!
We've also acquired director John Singleton.
Action!
Here's John on the set of his new movie, Shut Your Honky Ass Mouth, Cracker Boy.
And cut! I'm happy to be part of the new MCA Universal family, where I plan to make a lot of money. Can I get my wine cooler now?
Certainly.
Seagrams, bold and wine cooler, Seagrams.
Yes, and we've also just bought the Zucker Brothers.
We're really happy with the way we've been treated so far at Universal. Yeah, they're so much different from all the other studios we've been at.
Yes, but we don't want you thinking about other studios. In fact, we want you to forget there even are other studios. Forget. Forget.
Forget.
Forget.
Forget.
Forget.
Forget.
Good. Good.
Forget.
That's right. Forget.
Forget.
But our new acquisitions are not only in the film world, we're also going multimedia.
Say, what does that mean, multimedia?
Well, for the answer to that question, let's go to New York City. Universal is steadily making its presence known in the Big Apple. Here at Universal Records, new bands and recording artists are signed every day. Here's the drummer from the hot new band Goldfinger. Say, young whippersnapper, how would you like to be a part of the Universal MCA Corporation?
Fuck you. Corporation bullshit, corporate whore, fuck.
Ooh, that teen angst sells a lot of records for Universal. Give that man a wine cooler.
This is shit. Fuck you.
We also have MCA records with rap stars like Heavy D.
Golly, it sure is nifty to be a part of the Universal family. I mean, jeepers. Everybody here is just swell. Golly willikers. How could I ever go anywhere else? I mean this.
And now it's on to Nashville, where we've signed some of country's hottest performers, like Marty Stewart.
I don't know how things could be any better here at Universal. They take such good care of us artists. Well, like for instance, when my album went gold, I got this beautiful deer in the mail.
But we don't stop there. Multimedia includes books, too. That's why Universal owns Putnam Berkeley, with best-selling authors like Robin Cook. Say, Robin, how does it feel to be with Universal?
I love it. It's probably the best thing that's happened to me. Here, have you seen my newest book? Pre-written in screenplay format. It saves a lot of time. Now my book can go directly to the movies, which is a real plus, because those executives who can't read can go see the cute little talking picture.
Yes, Universal is busy making acquisitions all over the country in order to become a worldwide multimedia conglomerate of entertainment. Just ask Sylvester Stallone.
Hold on.
Universal sure is buying a lot of
I
stuff.
got a live mic over here. Hush.
Say, isn't that producer Barry Kemp?
Say, what about the future? We can't just keep relying on existing talent. We have to be open to new talent.
That's right, Barry Kemp. And ironically, that brings us to our final point.
A
last key to a modern studio is having an open door policy.
Say, what does that mean? Open door policy.
It means anyone can share their ideas. This keeps our studio from becoming old and stupid. But where do we find new talent? You might be surprised at the answer. This is Pepe. Pepe has a great idea for a blockbuster hit movie involving two women and a lost dwarf.
I'm just a janitor. Nobody wants to hear my ideas.
Don't worry, Pepe. You work for Universal Studios, and here they welcome all ideas.
And the two women and the dwarf live happily ever after. How do you like my idea, Mr. Executive?
Write it all out, and I'm going to submit it to my development people right away. Okay?
Wow, really? Thank you.
Oh, and Pepe, would you empty the trash for me, please? That's a good janitor. Thank you.
Sometimes crew members on film shoots are a source for ideas.
I've been in this business for a long time, and I've always lived by one simple philosophy. Be nice to the little people. Morning, guys. I brought pastries. Because down the road of life, you simply never know who your boss is going to be. From the lowliest PA to...
Pardon me, ma'am. Do you have anything else besides jelly?
You'll eat what I give you to eat. Be glad to have it. For instance, when I made clam bake with Elvis, there was...
Yes, an open door policy allows us to find the newest, freshest ideas. Isn't that right, Mr. Stallone?
You know, it's good to be open to new talent, but that way you're more open to new talent and stuff.
So let's review our three modernizing techniques. 1, being artist-friendly. 2, building that talent roster. And 3, never say no to a sailor.
Say, what does that mean? Never say no to a sailor.
Yes, it's a whole new Universal. And because of all the great changes being made here, Ron and I have decided to stay. We're both making ourselves completely available and accessible for all the studio-related functions. Ron says things are great, and he's fine.
So now we're just one big happy family of movies, books, music, television, and liquor.
People who need people.
Yes, from all around the country, artists are starting to call Universal City Studios home. Universal City Studios, UX. And with all of our new changes, no wonder everyone is saying, it sucks for me.
It sucks for me.
And how about you, Alan Hughes?
Hey, sucks for me too.
Yes, and it sucks for him, and it sucks for her, and it sucks for all of us.
Gee, I had no idea Universal was making so many changes and stuff.
By constantly changing, updating, and improving, we will never fall into the trap of becoming, It's the dawning of a new day, and with our new regime, we're becoming the most modern studio we can be. Thank you.
Okay, look, you're going to tell them I don't talk that way, right? I mean, this whole thing's been a gag to put on. I put the Rocky thing behind me as a character. You're working there, right? You're going to tell them, okay?
Sure, Brainiac. Here, have a wine cooler.
Thank you very much. See, that's a character thing. It's something I work on. Fucking cheap studio.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, and on that note, here we had to buy a little time, get more people to show up, which didn't work because nobody's showing up yet. Except for 3 stalwart folks in the chat here. I think one of them is stuff. So, all right. So, not really a lot to talk about at this point, although I did just put up a video, which kind of teased this. It kind of occurred to me that one of the key complaints I'm hearing a lot about, yes, again, lower decks rather, because it seems to be a little bit of minor cost me lately, trying to give this, at least get the show a fair shake. And I keep hearing a lot of stuff that's like has nothing to do with the show or an unfair standard. And people think, yeah, these people you'd be run out of the service and there'd be court-martialed and this and that and the Article 15 or whatever. And a lot of other military sitcoms through the years, McHale's Navy, Sergeant Bilko, Hogan's Heroes, going to, over in England. You got Dad's Army. You got Blackadder goes forth. And you could level the same charge against each and every one of those shows, and yet those shows are considered classics. So why the double standard? That is, because if it's by the same standard, it's not that far off, really. You're taking, you're making light, having fun with the concepts that have been established, Like the whole thing with the little ball of omnipotent being, I will destroy all of you, and the fact that, instead of, raising concern and can we negotiate, Mariner just tackles the damn thing. It's playing on the trope, and that's what these things, they're playing on the tropes, okay? And it's playing on tropes that aren't the stereotypical thing. Like, let's look at JJ. He was playing on the stereotypical tropes, not the real tropes. Kirk banging green chicks all the time, and all, that really didn't happen. The stereotypical gags that he did in the first JJ Trek movie was stuff that how the general unwashed mundane population sees Star Trek, not how it actually was. Kirk was not a big womanizer all the time. You go through and break down the episodes, he got laid maybe 7 times. Very few really confirmed, just alluded to, and partially that's part of it is the standards of the time, but also mostly through all the other 70 some episodes, he was a straight ass by the book officer. It was only when the book didn't apply that he started getting crazy, and so and during the show he very rarely disobeyed orders. And he was Okay, we got a comment here. I got to check this out because it's relevant to the episode I just put up. Let's see. All right, let's look at this whole thing here. So, Mr. Zaffel. Oh, yeah, let's see. There's a comment on my other video. The Lower Decks comedy for me, but not for thee. Check it out. Just put it up there. Wow, I thought the whole premise of the show was actually that this was a show about people who are never supposed to be allowed in Starfleet under any circumstances. This is like ordering a chicken meal and then complaining there's chicken in it. Yeah. Pretty good point. And Bookfoot UK, hello, sir. Kind of expand, right now, just expanding off the video I just posted that kind of complaining about how these people are, they would never be allowed in any kind. This is totally unmilitary nowhere, so, and they'd be run out of service and court-martialed and drummed out or whatever. And saying, wait a minute, what about McHale's Navy? What about him? What about Sergeant Bilko? How about Dad's Army if you're going to come from a UK perspective? Although there's no legitimate way to view it in the UK just yet, but I'm sure it's gotten around over there. Trek Culture's been doing reviews of it, so they're getting it somehow. But that's the thing. It's like, okay, if you're going to start complaining that these guys shouldn't be in here, this is a situation comedy, guys. You got to take a little liberties with logic and rationality to get the comedy rolling. And until I see somebody denouncing McHale's Navy as these guys would never be allowed in the Navy, especially in a time of war, and yada, yada, yada. Or Sergeant Bilko would have been shot for what he was doing, making deals on this, then I don't want to hear any complaints on that line about Lower Decks, frankly. In fact, they made the point when it was Fletcher, I think it was. And they got him transferred off the Cerritos and on to the Titan. That wasn't just a meaningless reference, which is what we usually get from the Kirschman side of the house. The reference had a meaning, namely he's being sent over to it's supposed to be lighthearted. He was being sent to Riker's ship, which to a guy like Fletcher or any of the Lower Decks guys who like to goof off, that should sound like you're going to Riker's Island, frankly. Okay? Because Riker spent 7 years in Enterprise D And then more than a few in the Enterprise E under Picard, they don't play around on that ship very much. You're expected to toe a line, especially the Enterprise. You start off on the Enterprise all the time. I mean, the way tore into Barclay, this is the Enterprise. We cut a higher standard here. That's and yeah, we've seen them in Enterprise. Some ship named Enterprise, and they always it's supposed to be the top of the top of the top. Now think about that for a second. Applying that to all of Starfleet, then how do you determine which one's the best ship? If they're all supremely someone's got to be a bit of a goof off here, okay? You can do that. You can kind of do that with one. I mean, even there's some slackers on the Enterprise too. Okay, they hit it better, or they weren't quite as blatant as others. But if you're going to be ranking things, someone's going to be a little less, not quite there. You're going to have, Voyager. Tom Paris doing it. What do you got?
Mr. Zappael.
Oh, did he pop in? Yeah, Gary. Yeah, they do poker night. That's what the senior crew does. They play poker. Although in the case of Cerritos, it means nothing because they always let the captain win. And that's one thing I'll give the Enterprise. They're a little more serious on their poker games on that one. But yeah, it's like you have to stop judging it according to Kurtzman stuff. McMahon came in and he there's a Twitter feed. I think it's probably still up. I'm going to go look for it. But he kind of plotted out a theoretical Next Gen Season 8. And he's mining from that. He mentioned that somebody gets caught in a sentient cave. He pulled that out as sort of a reference in the first episode with Mariner. So you see, and a lot of recycling these ideas for comedy stories. So I think they're starting to. I think my little stand up to Doomcock there may have had some effect there, because one thing for few people here and there to say, but I like it. You don't know Star Trek. Nobody can lay that charge on me. Okay. I said over and over, I will put up my Trekkie credentials against anybody, including some of the people who actually worked on the damn show. So I think when that point, I've stuck in a few things, like Gary was going on about it, but he had to stop. Well, Captain April likes it. I mean, that right there. Hey. Because I may not have the subs, but I do have the ear of some of these people. Gary and Doomcock and Midnight's Edge. So I think I have forced them to pay attention. That and again, I'm going to throw it back up in their faces all the time. Midnight's Edge has said that they're trying to marginalize Kurtzman as much as possible to get him out of the day-to-day operations of any of the shows. And I think this is the first front right there. His writers do not write the show. He does not produce the show. It's not being produced, actually produced by Secret Hideout. It's being produced by, I think the name is Important Science. That is Mike McMahon's company. They're the ones who are doing the actual production and the writing of this thing. And that is where, frankly, the criticism should focus on. Are the stories funny? And then, things you would normally judge a normal show by. Unfortunately, any Star Trek show is not a normal show, because it has to fit into the larger scheme. And also, in Mecca complained about all the references. That's what the references are pointed out for. Because the whole argument about Kurtzman Trek is Star Trek by people who hate Star Trek, for people who hate Star Trek. This is the exact opposite. These are being written and produced by fans who are trying to reconnect with fans. I think when you stop looking at this, they're trying to say, hey, we are part of it. We're legit. Please come back. And we're proving it by the fact that we know all this stuff. We can pull up all this thing. Well, Holler's not just that's for meeting Stephen Hawking and obviously, whatever, Robin Hood. Although, frankly, Robin Hood was a Q thing. It wasn't. So, yeah, it's not perfect, but, like the Cerritos itself. This wasn't just thrown together. There are very thought out reasons for why the registry is on the back of the saucer. What that yellow stripe around the hull means, Why they have a warp core, normally that'd be big enough to power a starbase on a ship the size of a Constitution class. I mean, this is and one of the complaints I saw in one of Mecca's tweets about how anyone's saying they're not Kurtzman, they got a window on the bridge. Okay, different ship, different mission profile. This is a ship that actually gets in real close, probably docking onto things, physical contact. Bigger ships that don't do that sort of thing, they don't need a window. Okay, they keep a little distance and just near the view screen. But if you're actually maneuvering the ship in to make physical contact with things or get really, really close, you're gonna want a window. You don't want to lay all your trust on a view screen. You're going to want to put a window on the thing. It's the same reason why they still have windows on the shuttles and the runabouts. Now, before he brings up the Defiant, that one, the bridge is kind of recessed. There's nowhere to put a window in that case. But, again, they know their stuff, okay? And because they know their stuff, I think we should give them a little bit of latitude here. Kurtzman has proven they don't know what they're doing, so they get no slack, okay? But I'm thinking, one of the ideas I've always had for, a Star Trek, comedy is essentially sort of a McHale's Navy thing in space, where you'd have, and partially it's kind of along similar lines, everything, because we've always seen the best in the fleet or the most further. And how about the worst ship in the fleet? And I've got one, I dreamed up one, the Eldridge. It's in some of my thumbnails and other online stuff. But this was, the way I described it, I'm hoping that, because I did send it like third time to Trek Guards guys to do your fan fleet type thing. Basically, the Eldridge was the last and certainly least of the Constitution class, and never even entered service. Is why you don't see it, listed anywhere. And because it had problems during shakedown period, again, it never went into service. It had too many problems, so they decided to hold it back and use it as a test bed for various systems like new shielding or whatever, And unfortunately, at the same time, they also tried to fit it with one last attempt at a M5 style computer, maybe M6. Unfortunately, the M-grams they impressed on it were someone who really was a craven coward. So again, and they may also headed off the possible disaster by giving it control of only one coffee maker on a rec room on deck 7. So it can't shut down life support. It can't take over the warp drive or take over the ship at all. It just all it can do is go nuts with the coffee maker. So it's like, on a red alert situation, don't go in that room. It is sealed off. It stinks of coffee. There's coffee all over the place, and no furniture at all. The only thing that goes in there is a maintenance droid once in a while to mop up the coffee. And has also been known to scream out occasionally, "We're gonna die!" But it's like, you still got the Duotronic computer system running everything else.
Oy.
But this, the history of this ship is like, it was used as a test man, and the computer, them 6 computers, just gone completely nuts. So as a result, because it's been constantly been shot at by Federation starships, to test out the shields, which sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. So, and then eventually just got mothballed for a while until 100 years later, the Dominion War comes along and they need every ship they can get. And as kind of part of the Frankenstein fleet, they dragged out the Eldridge, slapped on some newer nacelles, swapped out the deflector dish. They managed to cram the photon launcher up in the saucer and then change the bridge and the lower sensor dome. And you got, a ship that's barely up to specs for that time period. And they didn't even bother to, do a proper paint job. They slapped on new registry and name on the thing, even though you can still see the old name underneath the grime. And this pretty much does just milk. Essentially, just milk runs, right in the far, in the rear way, back way away from the front lines. But if we just to add a little something to it, put in a little the Hogan's Heroes in with the McHale's Navy. The ship is nobody wants to ship anywhere out because it'll draw trouble. But realistically, it goes for Section 31 uses it a lot to go on covert missions.
Okay.
So they're able to go somewhere, go places. Other ships don't.
Another comment from
Yeah.
Mr. Raphael.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Yeah. If you can actually watch it as a show in its own right, or whether it's just another Kurtzman show, open fire.
Yeah.
I think give it a few years when the Kurtzman stuff has gone bye-bye and Lower Decks is still around, you finally go back and watch those older episodes. Okay, it wasn't quite that bad. But yeah, the modern day quote unquote, Dominion War type thing, or even post-Dominion War, is the ship is really a spy ship. And it goes around, again, getting into places that other ships wouldn't because they're too obviously Starfleet ships. Whereas this one, it could be a privateer for all they know. It's it used to be Starfleet about 100 years ago. But it's got mismatched parts on there. One of the things when I did it all started really when, partially, leftover model parts. I was kit bashing, and I had some extra leftover bits from the cutaway model of the Enterprise, and then the refit model. At the time, they're close enough to the same scale. That had some fun with it. I did a Phase 2 Enterprise, but I also did mocked up this thing with the of the Eldridge. It's basically the saucer and the lower hull the same, but then put the glowy the deflector edition there, managed to cobble on the two nacelles, and made a point of the nacelles don't even have the same registry number. Not to each other, and certainly not to the Eldridge. So this ship was it was kind of like second cousin to Gabe Kerner's thing when he did his little thing, really bad Star Trek. Whereas the USS Ecuador is his ship. And he's got, one old style nacelle, one of them kind of new, and the flood, lights are stained, everything shakes. This is even worse than what I have planned. But I think it was it comes to the same thing of okay, I think we've had enough of the best of the fleet for a while. Let's see how the other half lives. Let's go down a few rungs where things where the discipline's not quite so strict. The standards aren't quite so high, and they're certainly not going out there exploring strange new worlds and meeting new life forms. They're just working stiffs, just trying to make the day go faster. So let's see. Has anybody responded yet to saying can't do it? Send a link. Yeah, sent a lot of links, no responses. So.
I sent out links of my own.
Yep. Huh. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, a little bit of news thing. Susan Collins, a little waffly on the thing there. And come from Moonjumper Reviews. Who cares what I think? Yeah, I even had a good comment about, where was it? Let me draw that back up here. Yeah. He made a point. A lot of these people, one thing, it's not, doesn't hold on a point in a second, but he said one of the reasons so many people are outraged by the thought of a Starfleet or other military-based comedy, Space Force, which also co-stars Tawny Newsome, by the way, is that they didn't grow up with these classic comedies like we did. I know every title you mentioned and watched most of them. Unfortunately, so many of the younger folks haven't been exposed to them. In many ways, they haven't been exposed to comedy, period. Comedians have practically been put out of business. They can't go into college campuses, etc. The only comedians who are allowed to even speak are the network late show guys who are so overcome with angry, wild-eyed TDS they barely crack a smile, and only an angry smile if they do. And that's the sad part. Comedy is largely dead. Yeah. And it just comes with what I point out that let's see. Yeah, the first regular episode of McHale's Navy, not the pilot, that was something else, but the first episode where Ensign Parker shows up was written by Gene L. Kuhn. Hardcore Tricky should recognize that name. He was the line producer starting the first half of the second season up until like the last few episodes of the second season. He was also a Marine who fought in Korea. Anybody going to say he doesn't know the military? Yeah. And for some reason, the other comments cut off here. I got something else here. Okay. Where are we? Back up here. But yeah, you know. Because I'd always would get all hot and bothered about, you know, this wouldn't be allowed in the military. It may not be allowed in the military, but it's, you know, some stuff certainly happens in the military. I heard from guys who worked in the warehouse in supply squadron about forklift races around the warehouse, and how sometimes they kind of miss the turn and the forks go right through somebody's TV.
Another comment from Mr. Zappael.
Yeah. And they can tell it's a TV because they heard the crunch, you know, in the glass shattered. Oh, I don't know. Right now, it's like, I'll get the views and the clicks, you know, the old-fashioned way. I'll work for them. Yeah. Hopefully, appealing to people who actually think, you know, before they shoot their mouths off. But yeah, it was actually when I was trying to get reimbursed for. I had a boombox I picked up in tech school. Took it to England, had some fun with it. You know, they had mixing capability too. It was fun, but it somehow got lost when I got back to the States. And I kind of made it like a bit of a bandit because I only paid the guy $90 for it in the barracks. But trying to, you know, they couldn't find it. It was lost, so fill out forms for reimbursement, and I looked through the thing in the catalog, and the closest equivalent was like $200. So, you know, I did okay. You know. Look, and I'm not sure this is some the reaction. This is so much, you know, newer guys who are smearing anything that's new. I think it's just a lot of legitimately butthurt fans who are, you know, again, justifiably angered over what Kurtzman has done and what when JJ's done. And then out comes poor little Lower Decks in the midst of all this, because it's not deeply reverential and Starfleet is actually the greatest in the universe and the Federation is paradise and utopia, yada yada yada. And they're showing a ship full of goof-offs. It's being lumped in with the Kurtzman shit unfairly, because again, I point out again, and this is, it sounds like nothing, but in the grand scheme of licensing, it is huge. The opening, the titles on Lower Decks, it's the classic Star Trek font. Now, all of them have done this with the promo material. Go look at some of the early, you know, Discovery and Picard stuff. It had the classic font, but on the actual titles, the show itself, where they can't lie about this sort of thing, they got that altered font. It's a pointy, sharpened blade type thing. That is a separate license. So yeah, this is, you know, Lower Decks is not being licensed under that package. In order to use that classic font, they are marketing it as a canon universe show.
Okay, another comment from Mr. Zappa.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks to Kurtzman, but this shows like a filter. Those who look for views will keep the same song, while those with integrity will say, okay.
Sorry for long comments.
I'm not sure how to unfilter that. Okay, or unpack that, but again, and a big example I point is to Eagle Moss. They have all the Star Trek ships, and they all have the classic Star Trek font on it for the Star Trek. But Discovery ships and Picard, they don't have that. They got that pointy blade type font for the Star Trek. And also have to deal a little bit on my Cafe Press shop, which we're supposed to link here. All the original series and classic series, they're all part of the same licensing bit. JJ is not. And I suspect Discovery and Picard are also not part of that license. And I put up a badgie design on shirts and stuff on my shop, and just the standard, tags on it. And so far, they're still up. Which also tells me that Lower Decks is being marketed and licensed as a part of every other Star Trek show, from the original series on through to Enterprise and the old movies. So at least on that front, yeah, as far I have had a few squabbles here and there with some folks over the canon status of Discovery. Well, CBS says it is, and it's like, no. There is no way in hell that show can possibly be canon. I don't care what the hell Kurtzman says. The Enterprise alone is proof that no, this does not work. Because you got, we know the Cage took place before Discovery and all that. And where No Man Has Gone Before is still coming up. So how in the hell does the Enterprise go from 947 feet with the spikes and all that, to what looks like about 1,500 feet with a totally different configuration and, gigantic things or whatever. And then before we get to where No Man Has Gone Before, it suddenly shrinks back down to 947 feet, gets the spikes back, and you can't blame that on a refit, okay? And even so, why would even if they somehow no, it's the same size, despite evidence, visual evidence to the contrary. Why would you take this ship, do a massive structural refit with the swept back pylons and different, and then put it right back the way it was, pretty much, for where No Man Has Gone Before? And for the people saying it's just a visual reboot, everything else is the same. Visuals, how things look, and that is still part of the canon. You can't just change the visuals and keep everything else the same. Because you change the visuals, you change the canon. So no, that doesn't fly. If they had done something that just showing a little more detail, like adding a subtle Aztec pattern to the hull type of thing. Putting, labels where, the buttons all and actually a lot of these buttons were labeled on the bridge set. But again, the camera especially the screen resolution home was so crappy. They all lit up. You didn't know there was anything on there. But actually, a lot of these buttons were actually labeled. There was a lot more detail on that set that couldn't be seen. So modern technology, you make it more detailed. You don't use plywood on there because you don't want to see the wood grain, that sort of thing. But the designs were fine. But no, it's like, Kurtzman's, his attitude, there's no way to stay, absolutely, consistent. So his attitude is, why even bother? And you get a show that is so far out of whack. It's like, you didn't even watch the original show, did you? Because one of the complaints about, they just said the Cage and that's it. To an extent, that's not a bad approach because you have to lead up to the Cage. But you do have to take into account everything else too. And they don't do that. But also the thing, I don't think they even watch the Cage, really. They read a description, they got an entry on Memory Alpha, a few stills, okay, we're ready to go. No, you're not. And so we're where we are. Yeah, righty. And as always, again, the super chats and the links are open. Yeah, PayPal would be best because that's more immediate, and we can actually because I'm gonna have a quarter tank of gas and a lot of month left. So, still nobody's responded. No answers to things. Look at them.
On record, I also posted this in the Orville Nation Happy Hour.
Okay, we'll see if
Which means it's open up to.
Let's see. Yeah, I know. Let's see if PJ or somebody shows up here. Okay, but yeah, Rob, I'm not that worried about because he never checks his messages anyway.
I'm tempted to send a link to mine.
Mecca generally doesn't, go to people's stream. Doomcock, I'm still a little leery of dealing with him one-to-one. But everybody else, Rosetta's probably having too much fun time with her husband at this point. Yeah.
I'm gonna send one tomorrow.
Well, I'm a little leery of Mono because I'm thinking it's going to turn into a thing about Gunsberg and Trump doing things. It's like, Trump is doing his job. Okay? That's part of the job is the president and the Senate to name and confirm justices. You think we're going to go all the way through this election period with anything less than a full court?
No. The only other one I could think of to send it to is Gabe.
No.
Why?
Let's just say Mr. Kerner, last communication, said rather nasty things about us. But why, sort of thing, why my opinion basically means nothing because of our living status and nothing, and made some rather nasty comments about you. And I was like, that's it.
What did he say about me?
The word hideous came up. I know. That's why I just just cut him loose, block on there. And other people who know Gabe was like, yeah, it's you don't so much you put up with him. His mood swings are out of whack. I think possibly because of his own substance abuse and psychological problems. So it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I got time for that crap. So. Maybe someone will show up. Who knows? Generally surprised when they do. But, shenanigans in 4 hours. Yeah, let's see. I'll put a little there. Okay, so let's get there, and I think we can also put that to sleep. Okay. And there, just so I can get ahead on the strap. Yeah, I'd rather not, get into screaming match with Banu about, Ginsburg and Trump and yada yada. Yeah. But I will say this: it's like everyone tries to compare with Merrick Garland case. No, you shouldn't have confirmed anything until after the election. Okay. One, Obama nominated Garland when he was basically one last grenade to throw in there as he left town and get out the door. He wasn't going for re-election. He couldn't. He was term limited out. In that case, no. We need to know which direction the world is going to. These things going to go here. You had a Democratic president and a Republican Senate and a Republican House that was like, we were put in here to stop you, Mr. President. So, no, you don't get to throw a bombshell in here on your way out the door without something. We're going to wait and see if do the people really like the way you're doing and put in Hillary, or we're going to think what really going to do and put in Trump. They put in Trump, so guess what? this case, we got a president going for re-election. We still have a Republican Senate. In fact, the numbers increased during the midterm in the Senate. The House, that's another issue. And then we'll see what happens there. So it's different circumstances, different contexts. And I think what's going to happen is there's a few female nominee possibilities that I think that there were mentioned previous times, but I think reportedly wanted to hold them back for when Ginsburg became available, because it was anybody they were taking odds probably on how soon before the next election is Ginsburg going to kick off, because the health problems are longer than my arm. It's a miracle she lasted this long. So, and she made comments like everyone, talking about politicizing her death. She put the thing forward of politicizing her death for her side. So let's just. I'm kind of sad because I thought Judge Bork was still alive. So I put a thing tweet out there for a while. It's like, okay, here's to Trump. So, want to have some real fun? Recess appointee Robert Bork, but then I found that he died in 2012. So, so I deleted that one. This will be interesting, but got the people. If they try, well, burn, well, rioting. You're already rioting. What's going to be any different? Why is going to? One point, they're finally going to realize, the more you guys riot, the more Trump voters you're creating. You're going to make 72 look like a squeaker. And for those not familiar with electoral politics, look up 1972 presidential election and look at how red that map is. All the activism they want to recreate 1968. They forget 1968 did not end well for the left. Oh no, 72. 68 wasn't really close either, but 72, that's what they really. But it was still blowback from 68 and 69 and so. Until finally it's like, enough! The world did not fall in love with Dick Nixon, okay? But they were scared to crap of what would happen if McGovern got in. That's the thing. And you got the same kind of, intellectual, like, thing was Pauline Kael, New York Times. I don't know how Nixon won. Everyone I know, everyone I knew voted for McGovern. And you don't know very many people, do you, Pauline? So on the one hand, it'll be interesting to see how the election turns out. But also because we know this is going to go to the Supreme Court, because everyone on both sides, no matter which way it goes, they're going to be throwing temper tantrums and filing lawsuits. And so to go into the election without a full court is reckless. Because especially they talk about the scenario where it's like, it looks like Trump wins by a landslide on election night. But wait, there's the mail-in vote. And we start seeing that start racking up here and there. Oh, there goes Pennsylvania. There goes Wisconsin. Biden wins in a landslide. There's going to be a lawsuit. Anybody says, election fraud's a myth. Election fraud, unfortunately, has been a part of the political landscape for about as long as there's been elections. Certainly since the 60s when, Joe Kennedy managed to buy the vote in Illinois, which the whole thing kind of hinged on. And going back further when the Republicans were a little sleazier, they were, buying elections out. But anyone who says that there's no election fraud, you are living in a fool's paradise. There's always been election fraud. The thing is now it is going into overdrive. So they're not even trying to hide it. Now, there's an election in Paterson, New Jersey. They threw the whole thing out. There were so many irregularities. That's just local. Apparently, Arizona is not much better. They've totally eviscerated the Republican Party out there. Thank you, John McCain. The Landonberry Goldwater is long gone, unfortunately. But yeah, there's been speculated by Razorfist that was like a dry run for what they got in mind, because originally, Martha McSally won it openly, but then the absentee and mail-in ballots started coming in, and pretty soon you got this Kristen Sinema bozo. There's a sneak in there. Apparently, has all the intellectual capacity of a porcelain deer. So, That was the practice run. Now they're going to try and roll it out nationwide. But anyway, enough political crap. Let's get back to pop culture where, the fighting is only slightly less intense. So, okay, so yeah. Get that right there. And what did this mean about here? Hold on. The giant size X-Men Storm #1. John Hickman squeezing, whatever. Really couldn't give a crap. What?
Word's coming down that there will be another that there is another Alien movie in development, but it won't continue the Prometheus story.
Yeah. Thing is, there are so many things in development. Why didn't they call it development hell? They go into development and nothing ever comes out usually. It goes in there to die. Kurtzman's got a few Star Trek stories in there that are in development hell. Section 31, anybody? In fact, they even stopped talking about that one. And yeah, Strange New Worlds in development. Doesn't mean they're doing it.
I kind of wish they would do it.
No, not with these idiots in charge.
Not with these idiots in charge, but
I would be interested in a Strange New Worlds concept if, let's say, Ron Moore and Ira Bear were in charge.
Yeah.
Doug Drexler was handling,
Oh yeah.
Which means also getting back on the original design sets with period, appropriate uniforms. It would take very little, as far as how fast I want to get going on this thing. It would take very little redressing to do the Kingsland sets. At least get some stuff in the can. And yeah. We've been at this for almost an hour. No, long comments are fine there, because it gives you something to play off of. But yeah.
Okay.
What?
Comment from
okay.
Jay.
Well, yeah, he'll confirm, work is going, but doesn't mean, again, until they actually greenlight a project and approve a budget, doesn't mean to what diddly. Because a development, case is pennies compared to actually making the movie. And they'll put stuff in development. If anything, sometimes just to tie up somebody's, the project and, shut them up for a while. Yeah, we're in development. And as far as Kurtzman goes, with his stuff.
Okay, somebody's asking if you have mail.
Yeah. Let's see.
Is he asking for PayPal purposes or just?
Just for. Well, look at an email here. Yes, I still have AOL because it works. Hello. Schmutz on the screen. Here we go. Listen, why? One, I'm old, and two, it still works. It's free. It's a lot easier, working around that than trying to go through Gmail or Yahoo or whatever. Right, Yahoo's still working. Should I be expecting something nasty in my email pretty soon here or what? Because if you, oops. Hold on here. Yeah, if they need it for the PayPal, there it is right there. Let's see. Come on. What the hell? There we go. Let's poke around a bit. Huh. Well, let's see here. You're trying to look up my public records here? What? Oh, getting strange things here. Nope. And that's not good either. So. Huh. Okay. Why is this showing up? Whatever. Okay. Let me check my email here, make sure something strange didn't just happen. Because kids, I may have just done a very dumb thing online here and given someone my email. Well, just by giving out my email, it's probably not advisable. When some strange person comes up and, do you have an email? Well, yeah. You pretty much have to have an email nowadays. I mean, not that it was a tragic thing right there, because my email is perfectly, available right there on my page on the About section. So, not like I'm giving anything that is classified or anything, but still.
Oh, ow. Yeah.
Well, what it needs to go back to the old premise for the most part. Part of the problem has been they've been doing a new premise, and the new premises suck. So, let me clear things here. At least get a look at stuff here. Yeah, I'll do this later. Okay. And still, nobody's responding to the invite. Yeah. Well, I could read it, but I can't do anything about it. I don't have those kind of connections. Yeah. I'm not even sure I got Ron Moore's current email address. So. And I'm not an agent. I'm in no position to produce anything or put it out. So this should be interesting, kids.
Yes, Brie Larson, he's not.
But anybody got anything else to discuss here? Or somebody actually shows up and sort of a bit of a panel. What happened here? Oh, yeah. Retweeted Tammy Bruce then. Oh, what are you gonna do? Burn down the city again?
Braga's email in a long time, dude.
No, I don't. Besides, he's busy. Yeah, Braga changed his email address a long time ago, and yes, I think it's partially because of me.
Yeah, after you made that crack about him being the Antichrist.
No, it was actually well after that. But it was actually when it was during Enterprise, and it was I forget the episode, but it was like fighting the head Suliban on the Enterprise. The guy opens the bay doors, jumps out with Archer out there. He's in a hard vacuum for a good 30 seconds or so. That's good for several seconds before he even starts trying to get to the door and get back in the atmosphere. And I sent him an email. I was like, okay, at what point does Archer start wearing a red cape and start flying around? I think at that point he changed his email address, and that was it. But yeah, you want to get at the Braga. I think probably best thing is one. I don't think the Orville is doing unsolicited scripts at this time. Like, I don't think anybody is. Star Trek was rather rare at that time. That was all Michael Piller. But probably try and go through Fox so you can get a hold of them that way. I wouldn't waste it on Kurtzman. That's for damn sure. Braga is on Twitter, though. I'm pretty sure he is. I know he's on Facebook, but Braga, yeah, at Brandon Braga, all one word, no spaces. So might try that. But it's like, don't hold your breath on it because he may not be, A few things I learned with the karaoke attempt the other day is, one, they will do a claim on it immediately. So I'm getting no ad revenue, I think, or very little ad revenue out of that last live stream because I got 3 working companies taking bites. But also, it's like you really can't do a good job when you're hunched over.
Yeah,
so
strangling the cat.
No, I just if I get a karaoke, and one, I think just have the camera off because I'm going to be sitting over here on the armrest, so I can stretch up and get my proper lung capacity. And holding the mic on there, hello. Okay.
Okay, moon jumpers.
Oh, about damn time. Okay. All right, that's good. You need someone to throw a topic out here, though, because kind of floundering. Okay. But I think my thing about the font there, about it being different, I think that'll be borne out when they start actually merchandising Lower Decks. When you start seeing some action figures and models of the ship. I think, based on what Paulette has done in the past, I think first we'll see a 1/1000 scale model of the Cerritos. Maybe even with alternate decals, so you can put there was the Rubido and I forget what other California towns have been mentioned. Actually, California's got a lot of good names for if they ever do a USS Fontana, though, that is where I think you'll watch people go nuts because there'll be people who don't know of the town of Fontana. It's actually not, it's a former steel town. I don't think they're taking a swipe at Dorothy Fontana. So, and I'll beat folks like it's Fontana is also known as Fontucky. Okay, it's kind of a redneck area in the Empire. I think they've even got a clan chapter out there. It's kind of halfway, but between. I lived out there. It's in the Empire. San Bernardino, Redlands, Riverside. Fontana's kind of halfway to L.A. It's a dinky little place. That in fact, in RoboCop, remember that big fight with them driving around and the guy gets doused in the toxic waste, the old industrial thing? Answer me. Remember it?
Okay.
Yeah, there was an old steel plant in Fontana, and I've been out there. When I was doing film classes, one guy was doing a thing. We went out there for some location shoots. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm not gonna claim any finder's fee on this. Okay. Okay, great, wonderful, but Okay, one big question though: is an established property? Is it a Star Trek story or something like that? If it is, you're in trouble. If you try and publish it and make money off it, that's one of the things that is strictly verboten. That's what kind of shut down the whole fan film thing for a while. Yeah. Okay, that's still kind of vague though. Okay, is this an established universe we know about, or is it totally new? If it's totally new, well, yeah, but totally new concept. If it's your own universe and anything else, then I think figure out some way to produce it. I don't know. Okay, original property. Then we can, there's program. I've got Adobe Premiere, a stripped down version of it on my computer. When it works, it's great. But I got other editing programs, and there's a lot of features I hadn't even gotten to. Once we get a proper setup, and I got a big, little computer with a little more horsepower to it, and I can actually do green screen stuff and different submarine. Okay, I got little ideas there. If I, and get this channel up to doing some actual income there, or get a job on the side that will not interfere too much with it. Ideally, I'm thinking if we could get back to our old apartment in the Wheat Ridge Arvada border area. There's a Target little shopping center over there with a GameStop that I've already applied to, and it'd be like, okay, I just live right across the street. So even with my crippled up thing, it's within walking distance. So I can do something like that, and get enough money that I can go out and get another original Enterprise kit and a refit kit and be able to build a 3-foot long Eldridge model and be able to start doing my own stuff and actually do this crazy, fan film idea. All right. And again, there's enough I can passable thing with with a green screen and just a set picture behind. Ideally, if we work up the scripts, a $500 deposit and approval from down there. But I can go down to Georgia and shoot down there on those sets. And I should hawk these guys a little more. Neutral Zone Studios, where they shot Star Trek Continues, and where they are continuing to shoot different fan films down there. They've recreated pretty much all of the original series sets. Well, it is a thick saucer, but I think the overall length of the ship is, it's about the size. Well, I would say a little bigger than the NX-01. I think it's more closer to the original Enterprise, the refit. About Constitution class size. Okay. But yeah, I would, a little modification of my idea for the Eldridge because the original idea was to swap out the bridge module for something movie era. But I could use, maybe just say that just the shell was out there and the interior.
Star Trek in spirit only.
Okay. And that sounds like what the Orville's doing. So but yeah, there's enough stuff you can, if you can figure out Blender and stuff like that, it's free. I'm still trying to figure it out. But but the opening sequence I'm using now for my Star Trek reviews with the Enterprise with low approach, and that was done on Blender, and it looks, the guy's done a great job on it. He weathered the ship, it lit up. It looks like what it looks like was shot from the original series, but that was a Blender thing. So or throw a few bucks, Sam Coughlin's way, and he'll do it for you. You can fit in all the other stuff he's doing. But yeah, it is not possible. You don't even need to go down to Georgia to shoot this stuff, or you build us up in the garage. You can do a green screen thing and do it in your bedroom. Yeah. I think I really can't give enough credit to Trek Yards for doing that interview. One, getting Mac McMahon to do the interview in the first place, because he's doing media for a whole bunch of different places, trying to promote the show. And the fact that he would single out, that he would put out some time for these two guys in the little YouTube channel. I mean, yeah, the Trek Yards has decent following, but it's still this, two guys bitching about ships. Okay. But that is a I think maybe why I think he's having quite a bit of fun with that, with talking to them. Because instead of just vague, what kind of story is this, and how does this compare to where are the shuttle bays on the Cerritos? Why does it have such a big honking warp cores? Right? Why did he put the saucer? Why did he put the registry on the back? And he dove in and wasn't a real hesitation. He didn't know the size of the ship off the top of his head, but he knew it was smaller than what Samuel had postulated. And he was talking about 12, 50, 14, 50. So I'm thinking it's closer down, probably to like the Constitution class ship. And it's a close-in support, and also explains why not everyone has their own quarters too. Like they really kind of cram them in there. And it's then to point out that everything about that ship is pretty well thought out. Nothing's on there just because it's cool effect. It's been speculated that the Parliament class may have been, kind of, original. Yeah, looks great, looks cool, too cool for us. Make it ugly. And that's how we got to the California class. It needs to look a little dorky for this show, which I think is fine because it gives a little bit of character. But yeah, yeah, but it really started irritating me though when I started thinking, oh, wait a minute now. There are shows. Wait, McHale's Navy and Hogan's Heroes and Sergeant Belko are considered TV classics, and they're all set in the military, showing personnel that would not be allowed near a military. So they would get that on base. What do we got?
Why was the Love Shack?
Okay, it's not showing up in the thing here. Okay.
It showed up on the chat.
Don't call me an admiral. I work for a living. Well, no, I don't.
He doesn't want to be kicked upstairs.
No. I've taken to heart the advice of Jim Kirk's, like, don't let them promote you, don't let them retire you, don't do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship. Although one day I might do the Commodore thing just to shake us up a bit, but that's about it. I still prefer the captain. Captain. So.
Yeah.
Right, most of the uniforms I got are captain's rank. What do we got?
I need to promote you for the fan fiction because of the copyrights.
That wouldn't do. That wouldn't be enough. Okay. No, it's one thing is even Trek Yard's first thing about it is like they thought it was straight struts and a much bigger saucer because of all the windows. Oh, yeah, it's a round saucer. So I had to kind of throw that misconception out and slope back struts. And regarding that, they because you said yes, engineering is in the lower part. Turbo shafts run through the struts, and there's a shielded area where they go through the nacelle into the thing. But when there's talking about concerns about the slanted thing, is like there are diagonal elevators at the Luxor in Vegas right now. Have been there for years. Are we going to say that the hotel in Vegas in the 20th century has more advanced technology than a 24th century starship? No. So USS Doris Miller. Okay.
Who washes the windows?
That one, there may be some, Doris Miller. I gotta look that up. Actually, it's that, Cuba Gooding Jr. played him in Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why they named a big black guy like him Doris, I don't know. Somebody didn't get the memo.
Hey,
Even at that point,
Doris. Name of the guy
Marion is actually kind of, but Doris is not really a unisex name. Marion's a little foggier, but it's still, you go back, But yeah, Doris, it's like, I think even in 1941, I don't know, was Doris Day?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think elevators would be one of those lost technologies. They've been doing elevators for somehow elevator since medieval times. The Egyptians probably had something for building the pyramids, but I know we definitely had the elevator system for mining.
Oh. I would not mind getting back to Las Vegas.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting when they should know there's going to be some action figures and model kits, especially the Cerritos. When that comes out, then that will. I think it'll definitely clinch the idea that this is being marketed as canon. It's not being part of the Kurtzman part of the thing. Kurtzman's only on the credits because he has to be by contract. But otherwise, it's like, here's your check, here's the money for your cohorts, go away. Let's leave it to people who actually know how to write. Thank you. Yeah.
I suspect they were trying to Kurtzman you out of your command captain.
Yeah. Different thing when it's your ship. Yeah, a line from another thing, Mr. Roberts. I could have listed that one too. In fact, I was going to list it came up, but I don't want to get into movies. I'm sick of TV shows. But something. Oh boy. But in the beginning of the play, Mr. Roberts and the Doc are sitting there on the upper deck, out on deck, and Doc points out, a ship captain is one of the few absolute dictators left in this world. So it's like, yeah, try and push me out, okay? And again, it kind of goes back to why I chose the name Captain Robert April. It's not just because I can keep Bob. No, there's a bit of a mission statement in there into holding the franchise to the to its own grounding. It's like let's pull this back here. That's not according to Roddenberry. Like on the Lord of the Rings sets, you had Christopher Lee and Ian McKellen. Whenever Peter Jackson got a little, that's not what Tolkien said, and they were able to. In some cases, able to quote from the books and point to what page it is. I mean, Ian McKellen because he was a huge fan himself. Christopher Lee because he knew Tolkien. He saw this. Yeah. Dennis Leary. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. But it's kind of like, no, hold it. Doesn't work. Okay, let's pull this back a bit. This is how this is supposed to work. Something I like. A Major Grin does some real good stuff. Comparing and contrasting other things.
The Dennis Leary will be ironically a British vessel.
Yeah. Oh, that's a thing about notice when Mariner is doing maintenance in the turbo shafts on Cerritos. She's in a regular turbo shaft. Not that Mr. Toad's Wild Ride nonsense that they got on Discovery and Enterprise and the Disco Prize. So yeah, I'm working here. Sorry. Well, Q&A was ridiculous anyway. But there's a real good video he did. Did a compare and contrast with with Michael Piller, and one of the more insightful meetings he had with Roddenberry, I guess a pitch meeting. And Roddenberry said, "What's the story about? Not the plot, but what's the story really about? What is the guts of the story here? What's it trying to say?" And Piller would take that bit and start quizzing the writers. What's the story about? Like
Okay. I'm at the Love Shack.
yeah, so that. Mm-hmm. Like say, let's take the show The Outcast, the episode Next Gen. The answer: what's the story about? It's not about Riker falling in love with a alien who might be turning into a female. It's about the whole issue of gender identity, gender dysphoria, and the societal pressures that it puts on. That's what it's about. So it's one of the cases where they got a little preachy here, and they did this back in the It was about 40, almost 40, 30, it was 30 years ago. And the same question is kind of put to Kurtzman about what's the show about. And he kind of wanders around in a bit of double talking nonsense, but clearly didn't quite get the idea. What is it about? Now, man, that being said, it doesn't have to be about some deep and meaningful issue. But if there are issues in there, you should be addressing them. That's for sure. But sometimes it's just about having a good time. It's about a romp. It's about watching some things blow up. But if it is, don't try and make it into more than it is. Because I don't think it's okay. So she passes her panties. Yeah, I was about to say phrasing. Okay. I'll get off a little tangent here. At the Creative Arts Emmys this year, Mandalorian took home a boatload. Kurtzman Trek, they got 1 for Picard and the episode Absolute Candor. I guess the Academy really likes them pointy ears and foreheads. But that's all they got. So they really, So they really didn't gain much. And I wonder how much they actually pushed it. Mm-hmm. But nobody wants to come talk to me. Okay, let's put that back over here, and put that back up here, and get back over here. But yeah, get the cafe press thing up here. Go and hawk my little t-shirts here and other things. Let's see if anybody's bought anything yet. Anything should appear yet? Nope. So back to that. And anybody ordered anything in the past few days that might be fun? Let's see. That. I've also got a line of face masks in different, well, not really a line. It's various brandings of face masks. I just put one up for the Dharma Initiative shop, from Lost. Face mask, checker hat, and dune mug. Okay, so let me get back on here.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna be putting up a link for some stuff. And lower decks. All right, that should do it.
Oy vey.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Okay, that is not happening.
Oh.
Okay.
What's the matter? Chicken. What was that?
Yeah, that's the link to my Cafe Press shop, specifically to the no promises when the greens. Okay. All right. That link there is to my Cafe Press shop, which I should be hawking a lot more than I do. And you can back up a little bit there, but that one is to the Lower Deck shop. And the first thing in that line, in this case, shirts featuring Badgie with the caption, "Would you like me to teach you a lesson?" Which Captain Foley found rather imposing, rather intimidating to begin with. So that doesn't sound very helpful. But one is once the money is back up a bit to a decent level, I'm gonna start, getting something, because I think I have essentially lost all the shirts I had from my shops. I need to replace a couple of them because my WKRP and Cincinnati shirt was about done. But yeah, that's the end. If this was being done under the same license as the Kurtzman Trek stuff, that would have been nailed immediately. And they've got their own algorithm and computer thing, because I tried to do a thing several years ago with the original Enterprise blowing a hole through the, shooting up the JJ prize, and that didn't last 5 minutes. It got flagged immediately. So the fact that this has been up day or two, a few days, that kind of tells me that I think this is under the same license as every other Star Trek property not associated with JJ. So, and I got other things on there too. It's just shirts on the Badgie stuff so far. We're going to figure out something else there and expand that line somewhat. But original stuff, I got a few face masks on there with different designs on them. There's a few T-shirts. I still need to get a new Disco Suck shirt. So far, that's been flying okay. Because there's nothing on there really that has anything to do with Discovery. It's Disco, and it's a standard font. No claim on that. And just, kind of like sucks. So, but actually, my this old Starship that was in storage out here, so that was fine. It got packed up. And I think my DS9 shirt. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. So we've been at this for an hour and a half. And as usual, nobody responds. Not even Rosetta, though. I imagine she's been kind of anxious for her to hook up with her husband again. So, where is that? Yeah. Did I send her the link? I never sent her the link. There we go. I was going through a bunch of invites here, and some of them I forgot to hit the send button. So, yeah, there's another one. I forgot to hit the send button. I was going a little too fast there, didn't I? So I'm going to bitch about people not responding. I need to send the actually hit the send button. Important lesson, kids. When you're sending things out, make sure you hit the send button.
Oh, Live at the Love Shack wants to know if he can join in.
Let's see. Are you backstage? I suppose. Let me finish actually sending these links. Stupid me. All right, no, we're not doing Mecca. I think we'll just leave that.
Does he even have you on? Do you even have him on your Twitter follow?
Yeah, he's been posting on here, so let me just. Okay. What? Did I get booted off? No, fine. Keep these. There he is. I don't think so. Nope, that's Cafe Press. Never mind. Hold on. All right, we'll get an invite. Copy that. Over here. All right, and we shall welcome to the panel. Welcome to the Love Shack, live from the Love Shack. As soon as he checks his Twitter. I mean, now that I've actually sent links out instead of just copying and pasting and then moving on to the next name, that's rather embarrassing. All right. Okay, so as we're waiting, so do a little promotion of Shenanigans is coming up in 3 hours. I think it's still 3 hours. Let's refresh this. Yep, 3 hours at 8 o'clock Mountain. So there'll be 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Pacific.
You know what, honey?
What?
You should see if you could get Trish to join sometime.
That's a little out of the pay grade here. I think, let's wait until whatever happens. There's things I can't talk about just yet.
All right. Okay.
The great seagull of the galaxy, stupid.
That's supposed to be. Who the hell knows? Yeah,
Okay.
it hasn't happened.
Interesting. Okay, now what do we got here? Yeah, it's slightly less. I mean, the not hit the send button, so it's still waiting there to be sent. It's like, oh, I meant to do that. No. No.
Have you checked your Twitter?
No. In a way, it's kind of like following the family. My folks would know well-off people, and my dad was, preacher, and he would know personally the head of the Southern Baptist Convention, so he would walk up, hey, and they know each other from way back, but never actually become the people who are. So up there we go, and welcome to the show, Live with the Love Shack.
Thank you, sir.
I'm
glad to be here.
Not a problem.
Oh yes. Oh my God! What the? Oh God! The pressure! Oh, the pressure!
Oh, what's up?
It's a lot easier to joke.
6 people watching. There's no pressure at all. Okay?
Oh, so it's a lot easier to make jokes in the keyboard, sir.
I'm lucky if I get over 10. Okay, on a really good night.
Oh.
I may hit 10.
You deserve more. You deserve more.
Oh yeah.
Come on. You look like a perfect Kurt Russell impersonator. The only thing missing is a eye patch.
Well,
let me change the lights.
Every time I chop the beard off, it's when I realize, oh damn it, I missed my chance to do a Michael Chabon again.
Who?
Michael Chabon is, Pulitzer Prize winning author who clearly is an idiot, and his editors deserve all the credit.
Never heard about him.
During the lockdown, he was doing a thing where reading children's stories thing, and I got the perfect glasses to do it, just the little horn-rimmed glasses. But he had the wild hair and the full beard, and it's like, and he'd come on, and like, hi, tiny humans. Yo, from Michael Chabon, and today we're gonna read. And you have to look at the thing to see what the hell book he had in his hand. Like, he had no idea. It's like, oh, this just magically appeared. So I've got a copy of Canterbury Tales over there for that. Okay, we're gonna read about the woman, the man, and the mule, and whatever.
That sounds like an old joke called "A Little Girl and a Horse." It was a good joke until they finally started this damn pedophilia thing.
That's the thing. There was a full-on.
Oh look, the porn theater. They are premiering the Little Girl and the Horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That joke didn't get all too good.
No, I didn't do a full-on ew thing with it. Now we're gonna do a review of Two Girls, One Cup, and think, oh god.
Oh god! I can't believe I said that once.
I didn't even see. I saw the trailer thing. Oh god, no! It's like and if you don't know what it is,
remember the Gong Show. Do you remember the Gong Show? How they finished the Gong Show? Two girls and one popsicle.
Don't think I saw the end of it. Watched a lot of Gong
Shows. The last
week?
They have nothing else to show, and suddenly the guys, oh, you know what? Screw it. Yeah. Come on, two girls, one popsicle. Start.
Ooh,
go.
Okay.
Camera, go. Oh, then suddenly the network. What? No. Oh my God! Please stop! Cut! Yeah. Too saucy for the 80s.
I remember the Gong Show back in like the 70s though when it first started. And Chuck Barris did not belong on screen, but that was part of the gag. It's like, he's a producer of these shows like the Honeymooner, the Newlywed Game, the Dating Game, but then there's the Gong Show. And okay, I'll just do it, and just sending up all these talent contest shows. And hi, I'm Chuck Barris, and we got a great show here. And then bring us up like Gene, the dancing machines, and sort of shuffling out there. Everyone goes nuts.
Didn't they do a movie about him once?
Yes, they did.
He was not a CIA agent.
That was the
a CIA killer or something.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind was the name of the thing, and it was. I don't know. I don't think that was meant seriously.
It was not.
Someone told Chuck, you should do your. And he started making shit up. Yeah, I was a CIA agent. Then they had to kill the Pope or whatever. I was like, what the hell are you doing? And they may have made. I don't know. I've heard them. We're talking about they made it clear in the movie. This isn't necessarily true. Okay.
Oh come on! No, it's more fun when you believe it's true.
Oh yeah.
Let's say it's more fun if you believe Miss April was once an FBI agent.
It's kind of like, what did you do in England? Well, just saying that I drove a mail truck for a year and a half and then flew a desk and gained weight. That's not really exciting. Okay.
No.
That was when the Challenger blew up.
That wasn't exactly exciting because I was mainly dealing with I was mainly dealing with a friend who was in an auto accident. Oh, by the way, also the Challenger blew up. And the Bears won the Super Bowl. Okay, who cares? Oh, let me grab that book over here because I make it as a reminder next time.
Wow. And the legend stands.
Yeah. Ow, not very well. Don't sit too long.
Oh my God. Call the engineer. Call the engineer.
There we go. Ah.
Oh my God.
Well, I got a couple of them for the kiddies. We got something Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, and
Oh.
no,
Oh God.
or something a little more picture. We got Billy and the Boingers here with you.
Oh.
With a cat and a penguin doing a rock band.
Oh, you want to get really creepy?
That's that will be a classic in my shelves.
Yeah. I might probably remember to do it actually, but if we finally get into something more permanent. Because unfortunately, right now the caseworker we're working with, I think she was sick. Well, she definitely was sick because I left her a voicemail that she was sick. But once we get our little, HUD-VASH voucher and get into a spot where we're only paying, and then once we get an address, okay, then I'll apply to places. Actually, right now we're kind of in the middle of the time.
It's not showing up on any of the lists of places that actually take this vouchers.
Yeah, but again, their clientele has not only been, Ritz Carlton or something. They might, who knows?
Yeah. I wonder what the hell's happening.
I don't know, but then again, I just now actually sent out the message and them sitting there in the thing.
May I add something, sir?
Certainly.
Forget California and in the Amazon. There, I see a piece of rainforest up there, and it's clear start. I can clearly see the start of a clear in the forests up there that must be protected, especially in case we finally get Star Trek NCIX off the ground. The hairstyle department will have serious trouble if that area completely clears up. It must be preserved.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, for the glory of Avis.
Yeah. Actually, I was taking full of gas for it. I seem to pick it up a little bit.
No, okay. It's almost a perfect Kurt Russell hairstyle. It's almost a perfect Kurt Russell hairstyle. Almost perfect. In the right hands, it will be glorious.
Yeah. But right now, sweatpants. So. All right.
At least you're not commando.
Okay, since he's new. Okay.
I think I lost something.
No, I think once money stabilizes, we're in a place and actually start racking up a few bucks to where I can afford to go out and buy a couple of $100 models to kit bash. Yeah, I have a 1-350 refit. I got a 1-350 original series. I got most of two NX 1-350s, mainly because that one actually when the because I got a 1-350 NX01 way back. It was Suncoast Video was shutting down, and I got the kit for it was a $100 kit when it came out. I got it for like $13. So like yes.
Actually, one of the things I got from them while they were still open was a copy of the Star Trek 3 script.
Yeah, we also thought we were getting a copy of Reefer Madness. Turns out to be The White Russian was the name. It was an old Steve Reeves movie.
Well, maybe you should park all then right there on the wall.
Well, the NX01 one is the only one that's mostly built, but it still needs some repair work on it.
Wait a minute. It's mostly built, but already needed repairs. For Christ's sake, Captain, what you did?
Needs a little work.
What did it dry dock?
It mainly has to do with the lighting kit thing, because I got talked this into buying the lighting kit for it at the convention.
With all due respect, sir, what you people are doing in dry dock?
At the moment, it's not even dry. It's storage right now. All of our stuff is in a couple of storage units.
That must be a huge star base.
Once we get into a place, though, that we're going to empty those things. That's
And I think the USS Doris Miller was huge.
Yeah.
Two saucers, a shopping mall, a zoo, and I have a couple of theaters.
No, it's like I don't care how crowded that apartment gets. We're emptying those storage units. That's $250 a month. We don't need to be spending. So.
Oh, come on. It will be worth millions someday.
I'll have it tastefully arranged.
Tastefully arranged.
Definitely, it won't be just heat. Okay, everything will be shifted around a bit, and clothes put away. Hopefully.
Tastefully arranged is a beautiful description for cows.
Bedroom, we got it made because there'll be plenty of room. All my stuff will be in my little studio area.
Do you mean the Phantom Zone?
Something like that, yeah. My sanctum sanctorum type thing,
Oh God.
Mad scientist lab had the no restricted area sign on the door.
Imagine what the Council of Little Pages should look like. All the Bob Little Pages from the multiverse gathering in the same place with their little storage spaces that only can be compared with clusters of galaxies full of stuff.
Now, once we get things straightened out enough that I can actually get a couple of big 350 kits to kit bash, because right now the ones I got, they're being built straight.
I wish I could do a. Wish I had the ability to build a kit. My ships must become ready already.
Let's see, the refit I bought when I was still at a job, and the original series with the lighting kit and other things. Got that when we let's see. When you got on disability and got the back pay for like 4 years.
Any kit from the Trash series?
From which one?
I don't know. Anything? Any kit from Discovery, Picard, JJ? Anything worth it?
The close they got a couple of Hot Wheels JJ prizes that are damaged. That's it. They're still in the package because I'm afraid of what I'll do to them if I open it. But,
they will probably they will probably be target practice.
Yeah, but that's the and those also they're only 87 cents each.
Yeah, I only have one book.
Well, if you can damage,
it's less than a buck. So yeah, whatever. Just to deny some collector.
If you can damage any X refit in storage, what will you do with anything from JJ?
Ooh. I don't know. I will say one thing. I might pick up.
You even didn't finish the engines, and the thing is already damaged. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's an X, man. It's not a Constitution class. First hit, goodbye. It's gone.
Now I might pick up a model of the Enterprise from Discovery, but it won't be the Enterprise.
Nah.
It'll be because the design itself, it does.
It's not so great. Don't waste your money.
Before the proper Enterprise. In fact, even before the AMT.
The Enterprise from Discovery is not worth the money. It's not worth it.
If I find a good deal,
you can skip it.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can skip it.
Yeah.
Ow. Sorry.
Might be using the lighting kit in the Ravel Enterprise. That could work.
No.
Well, you could always start from scratch Enterprise J using macaroni. Just a thought.
Yeah.
How hard can be?
Well, if you're not concerned about scale, because have you ever seen a comparison chart with the Enterprise J and the other ships?
Oh, that Enterprise must be huge.
It is. It is gigantic.
Yeah.
But we're talking like
How do you fit that in orbits? You must orbit Jupiter for that.
that one. I don't think you put it into orbit. You assume orbit around it.
Yeah, most likely.
Let me see if I can find something here. Okay.
So we'll never see an Enterprise K.
Probably not. I think.
That would be the Klingon Enterprise.
Let's see if I can find pictures. Yeah, here we
Meanwhile, about that Betazoid wedding.
Not happening.
Dude, they're making discounts on Ryza this week.
Mm-hmm.
You only need to use a face mask.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
And that's it.
Want to show off his appendectomy scar.
All the other scars while we're at it too. So where are we? Yeah, here we go. Let's throw that up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That is huge. Yeah, this is a J. Down here's the D.
That's ridiculously huge. Yeah. I think the USS Doris Miller is not that big, even with two saucers and 4 nacelles.
Mm-hmm.
And a zoo.
Yeah.
And a shopping mall. And 2 theaters. And maybe a strip bar? I don't know.
I think in this thing, sedation ops is a whole new meaning.
Dude.
Yeah, that's the because people say, oh, that's so spindly. You know how big these connections are. But yeah, we got the whole thing. Let's see.
Those transparent aluminum windows has transparent aluminum windows in it.
Yeah, let's zoom in a bit here. Down here's the Defiant, NX-01, original ship, refits.
I don't think the warp field fits the saucer.
And if you look
I have my doubts.
Down here, between the around the Enterprise E here, there's a Saturn V and the space shuttle.
My God.
There's Voyager.
Okay. That went a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think that warp field covers the entire saucer. My God.
Mm-hmm. But
and they say this. That looks like a bit like the sea view.
Mm-hmm.
The front of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Drexler is a big Voyage of the Bottom of the Sea fan. He's got a model of sea now. It's 6 foot long sucker.
How that thing detaches from the main body?
I don't think it does. It doesn't have to.
Maybe it should.
Just punch. Well.
Oh my God. Okay, Drexler overdid itself this time.
Well, I think at the time it was just sort of like, we need a big Enterprise for the far future. Okay, fine. Here we go.
Yeah, huge Enterprise. Must not fit the screen. Oh wow, we don't need to. They completely wasted that battle in Enterprise.
Yeah, it was a short scene, so
yeah.
Like Enterprise J, what's that? Oh, here we are. Yeah, okay, back to where they were.
Yeah. Enterprise has a lot of waste opportunities.
Mm. Well, that's the big thing I think with Enterprise and Voyager is just a lot of wasted potential because you should have gone to one more rewrite there. A couple of tweaks.
Voyager was a completely waste of time. I hate Janeway so much. I can't forgive Scott Bakula. I can't try to rewrite everything on Enterprise just for my own pleasure. But Voyager, I must draw a line on Voyager. I changed my mind about Lower Decks because really you changed my mind, man. But in Voyager, I must draw the line. No Voyager, no Discovery, no Picard, no JJ movies, no Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. Sorry, Shatner, I will not accept that in my canon.
Oh.
There's
No
a fan
way.
film out there. I need to stitch it together and post it somewhere. But there's a fan film that the folks did of MST3K.
XNR is okay. Star Trek: The Continuing Voyagers is okay. I forget the name of the guy, that blonde guy who plays Kirk. He's awesome.
Yeah,
the fans are doing a great job on YouTube. CBS is ruining everything. CBS is delivering Star Trek at the hands of Seth MacFarlane for free. You'll be worth you will be worth nothing when they finish.
Well, as far as Star Trek 5, there was a fan film of them doing MST3K doing Star Trek 5.
That's awesome.
It's a fun one. It's, especially once you get into but they're actually watching the movie.
But Star Trek 5 start that nonsense about Spock have a brother. Suddenly he have a brother we never know. Now he have a sister we never know. Next he might have a father we never met. Oh no! Spock. I am a secret father. Sarek was not your real father. Please stop screwing Spock. Stop screwing Spock's family life.
With Cybok, at least it was conceivable why they never talked about him. It was Cybok had a previous marriage, which whatever.
No. Forget Cybok.
Well, this is why my personal thing is with Star Trek 5. I chalk that all up to they were trying to do a ghost story for Spock's benefit, sitting around the campfire. One of the rituals of camping out, telling ghost stories around them. And thing is, they're also having more helpings of that secret ingredient that McCoy brought for the beans.
Oh God!
And by the time they get a little past the halfway, and they're starting on the second bottle, that's when you start going, Sarek was married to a Vulcan princess, and this is what Vulcan has no roller. Shut up, Spock! I'm in a roller. And
oh my God!
One of them, and he's also a fine God. He wants a ship that goes. Doctor, you're clearly inebriated. Shut up, Spock.
How many chances do we have from having a Betazoid wedding if you get that booze?
Kirk and Spock getting loaded. Kirk and McCoy getting loaded. They're telling the story. Because the thing is, you start off, you got the teaser thing, but you're starting off really with the three of them in the campfire, Yosemite. You go to the whole story. Where's the end of it? They're back at the campfire in Yosemite.
Yeah.
So even in
they were drunk.
Story.
They were drunk. And if we can get a bit of that booze, maybe we can have a Betazoid wedding in the end.
Yeah, that's how I resolved Star Trek 5. No, it didn't happen. They were just telling stories on the fire while drunk off their ass on Jack Daniels.
Yep. That's the best. Never pay for ship booze.
What? Oh.
Ship booze not worth it.
Further depleting my supplies. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cut down on this stuff.
Yeah. You cut down. You're worse than I am.
Oh boy. Store brand. All right.
Oh my God.
Okay, Keely.
I'm totally out of the chat. I don't see anything.
And also 5, it's like I know I'm trying to get as much on the behind the scenes stuff as I can on these things, and it was so hamstrung with other things. Like, yeah, it was supposed to be a really important story. How the Enterprise going, just answering the ultimate question of what finding God, and the students saying, "Okay, great. Can you make it funny?"
No.
And this is his first feature thing. He directed TV and some theater, but he hadn't done a movie yet. And of course, you want to blaze the studio because you want to get more gigs. So yeah.
Well, so many regrets about that movie.
Yeah.
That's why the bad starts.
And unfortunately, he produced a story where you have to have the special effects, and they cut the budget. And the big fight with the Rockman, they got one Rockman, and he looked like a jerk. He looked like an idiot. He's like, no, just skip the sequence, okay? Because he really wanted that Rockman fight.
That movie should never happen.
Although it did provide a real good bit for Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they knew about it. They read the
I'll
same
say
thing. Let's do our own Rockman fight, and then by then CGI was around, so and good enough that they could do it. Yeah, you can
Galaxy
actually
Quest is Star Trek. Galaxy Quest, the overview that never was. Could be a great show.
Oh yeah. Well, once Alan Rickman died, that's well, forget it. We had some good ideas. John Ordover, The Pocket Books. He had a real good idea for a sequel or a movie where the bad guys come back. They have a fleet of protectors, but no one to man them. And so who do they get? A bunch of fanboys.
Yep.
Have them man.
Well,
as you know, everything works. So. There we go.
Let's try this. Get the plot of Star Trek 5. Put Captain Robert April in it, and end with a Betazoid wedding.
Actually,
here, 5 million. Do it. Make it happen. Do it so.
That Captain April fan
and before release, ask for Miss April approval. If she said no, I didn't like it, don't release it. Try it again. Back to the studio. Nobody releases the Captain Robert April movie on theaters until the lady sings and have her Betazoid wedding.
Yeah.
That will never happen.
Yeah.
So we need to hire Kurt Russell to be the body double for Captain Robert April.
Oh boy, how old is Kurt Russell these days?
I don't know, but he has a huge beard. He looks like Santa Claus now.
Oh, Kurt Russell, American actor.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He's fine.
He's 69.
Never did something wrong. He never did a shit. He never made a shit move in his life.
Yeah, he's 69 years old.
He's easily forgivable. Easily forgivable.
And let's see, net worth $100 million. 5'11".
No, that would be an awesome Captain Robert April. Oh my God!
Probably until 60. Wait a minute.
The only thing we need to do is put him in the uniform and put a green screen hood on his head. And switch his head for yours. Switch your body for his. Make a Betazoid wedding. Everybody naked. Face masks. Ching ching. Box office blockbuster. And Miss April will be happily ever after.
Yep. Occasionally, him and Goldie Hawn have talked about getting married. The kids though would say, "No, forget it, Mom. You don't do marriage well. You're better off where you are right now."
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, and Stephen Klein is going in the cat.
Oh, do tell.
No. Imagine if we really live real Star Trek lives. That would be. That could be awesome. It could be really boring, really fast.
I think, in a way, Lower Decks. This is they're not looking at the bigger picture; they're looking at just the show.
Well, Lower Decks is a parody,
well,
and
even if you're a total screw up, there is a place in Starfleet for you.
Another detail.
You can be on the Cerritos doing something.
Another detail is the characters in Star Trek Lower Decks are human beings without amnesia. They didn't forget the past 300 or 400 years. They have cultural background. They're not idiots.
Yep.
At least most of them.
Yeah. And some of these reviews I've seen him, acknowledge. Yeah, these are competent officers.
Yes, at some extent.
Ransom is a blowhard. He thinks too much of himself, but when the chips are down, he shows he's a decent first officer. He saved his crew.
Yeah.
Played by Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he does the Riker thing with the one leg up on something or other, and I'm commanding. That's what when him and Mariner are going at it, and think, "What you permission to speak freely? No one can stop you from speaking freely."
Wow.
And
Jerry O'Connell plays a likable asshole.
Yeah, and he got some cheers from the screamers about when he stabbed Mariner in the foot to keep her from going out and fighting. So,
Wow. Do you really believe Mariner could win that fight? Do you honestly believe Mariner could win that fight?
Not in the same way, but
okay, that is one case where
it would have been fun. Yeah.
Where I could see his wife.
We would rate her. We would hate her, and think she's another burner. If she goes out there and wins the fight.
Well, they would have. Someone would have taken it that way. I think, yeah.
Sometimes she needs a leash.
What?
Sometimes.
I could see Jerry O'Connell's wife showing up on Lower Decks. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I'll get her another paycheck in there. Not as number one, because we're talking 100 years later. But I'd be thinking, well, why would I hire Rebecca Romaine for anything? You want to put her on screen so guys can ogle over and drool a bit, Her voice is not that remarkable. It's a fine voice, but there's nothing that I don't know what kind of voice work she does or can do. Although there was a Sports Illustrated video to go with the swimsuit thing. It kind of showed her little crazy sense of humor. When they kind of saved her for last because she was the biggest name on there. I think that's for Heidi Klum. But talking about the thing, you got to keep going. It's like I mean, what do you think they did when Louis Armstrong was up in the moon? It's like Louis Armstrong, and then by that time you're on to the next guy. They sort of being a total nutcase.
Yeah. Did you saw For All Mankind, the new TV series from Apple?
I haven't seen that yet, but I did. Amy Shearer Title is a space historian type thing. She did a review, and from an historian's point of view, it's like no. The Russians were in no position to do that at that point.
I agree, but that doesn't mean it's not a compelling story.
Yeah, but I just kind of wait.
Dude,
they couldn't get a record.
Imagine Neil Armstrong almost crash lands on the moon and fights to survive, fights to come back. Those 5 minutes from the second episode were more entertaining than any shit you can get from Picard or Discovery combined. It's more entertaining than a whole season. Dude, I was at the edge of my seat watching the scene, the Eagle trying to go back to the command module.
Yeah.
Because they are not on the right angle to take off. And Werner von Braun, with this fingers crossed. No, this gonna work. This gonna work. Come on, they will come back. They will survive. And the people. Dude, that's good storytelling.
Yeah.
For All Mankind is good storytelling. Despite all the wishy-washing, the rewriting the history, of course, the Russians after the first conquest became completely incompetent.
Yeah.
They are not in any way, shape, or form able to go to the moon, but I'm Ronald D. Moore rediscover his niche.
Yeah,
it's an amazing story.
Yeah,
that's the way that you write drama on space. It's almost a prequel for The Expanse. The only thing they're missing now is Epstein Drive.
Well, the difference, Ron can write, whereas Kurtzman's a hack. Okay.
And no wonder Ron leaves Voyager. Ron said, "Okay, fuck it. See, if you're not going right Voyager the right way, I'm out." And he went to make Battlestar Galactica, and Battlestar Galactica was awesome.
There was also a lot of behind-the-scenes shenanigans that went on that Ron very nearly took the fall for a lot of crap that he wasn't responsible for. Because I think Brandon Braga was kind of king of the hill at that point, and probably saw Ron as a bit of a threat.
I don't believe Brandon Braga is on the Orville.
Oh yeah, I think Brandon's learned his lesson.
Brandon Braga can write alone.
Yeah,
you can't leave that guy alone on the room. He will do some shit. No, Brandon, come here. You will write with us. You write with the team. You don't write alone. If you write alone, you are out.
It's got to get past McFarlane first.
Thanks God.
I think McFarlane's got his hand. No, okay. This is good, Brandon, but let's not go quite that far.
Yeah. No three boob woman, please.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No women with triple boobs, please.
That was actually Roddenberry, long before that was the original pitch.
Yeah, but Roddenberry almost ruined the first 2 seasons. Thanks God he died at the 3rd season.
Yeah, well,
and that will be controversial and make me lost a lot of following on Twitter. But come on,
it was like 4th or 5th, I think. But he pulled back by the time of the 3rd season. He pretty much pulled back. But he was retired anyway before they even started. He only came back because of what they were proposing was, like the old, dreaded Animal House in space. He was going to have cadets running a ship and everything else, and then getting in trouble and this kind of thing. Look, I can do better than that now, and they come back with, "Would you please?" And it's like, "Oh shit, you trapped me."
Honey,
what?
There's a couple of comments that I just saw.
What?
Stephen Glenn, Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Your
yeah.
computer gone wrong on Lower Decks.
Unfortunately, next is going to be about Spock, Klingon's sister. At some point, I have to ask ourselves, could Spock take his space for 5 minutes? Oh God! They made Cyrus the space Hugh Hefner.
Pon farr is only when they have to mate, okay?
Yeah.
And
if you want some space race that can keep these pants, please write your own.
Yeah. Well, the Vulcans can do it anytime they want to. It's just, Pon farr is the only time they have to. Otherwise, you wouldn't have
if there is
anymore.
If there is a sexual maniac race in space, must be either from Risa or Betazoids. According to some. According to the guy on Twitter named Continuing Track, he claims the Betazoid women are all sluts. That's absurd.
No,
how many Betazoid women show in TNG? 1. And Picard could not handle. Oh, great, Picard, the great space conqueror.
Oh, and Roddenberry came home and after they thought up Loxana Troy.
Yep.
He said, "Major, we got the perfect." He didn't want, when you get in the show, come on, throw your wife a bone here. But okay, Major, we worked at the perfect part for you, and you won't even have to act. Which of course, what the hell does that mean? Then she got the script.
And she's a telepath.
And if Gene was lucky, he wasn't in the room when she finally read the script. For just what kind of person, she found out she's only playing the anti-Mame of the galaxy here. That's what she described it.
Oh my God.
This is what you think of me, huh? I mean, she had fun playing it. He ate that with both hands.
Gene could not keep his pants in or out.
No. Like the fact is that he was cheating on his wife with Majel, so and cheating on Majel with Nichelle Nichols. So. And of course, any star that became period, had to do one.
Talk about somebody who can keep it in.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
So in the end, TNG was the love boat in space.
Well, certainly over in Gene's office it was. Yeah.
Well, everybody was cheating everybody.
Yeah. But even though in the original series, some of the guys would regret working late because they'd look over them and see what was going on in Gene's office because he didn't necessarily close the drapes.
What drapes?
Didn't close the blinds. It's like, oh God, Gene, come on.
Dude, the walls are like made of paper. You can listen they humping miles and miles away.
He had a pretty big office, huh?
Yeah, but not soundproof.
Well, everyone else has already gone home. He's still, I gotta do some rewrites in before the okay, my dear, come out of the back room. There's some crazy stories from the original.
Hey, that's a good idea on chat. Stephen Klein, Gilbert Godfrey should voice a computer going wrong on Lower Decks.
That could be
that I could see.
That could, I wouldn't do it for more.
That I can see happening.
I mean, obviously, you have to do it as definite Gilbert Godfrey here.
Now, either. What the hell? Why half my screen is black?
I got you like up, down. Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, next even Star Trek series focuses on time ship related.
Computer, it's a giant rock. It's a big rock with lots of clouds on it.
Maybe I missed the explanation, but why 3/4 of my screen is black?
I think it had to do with the way when you started streaming, they had it, kind of holding the phone upright. And it started doing sideways, it'd be widescreen. But once it gets that thing set, it doesn't want to change. Usually, most phones. Yeah, there you go.
See. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shoot videos of various phones. It's like,
okay.
You gotta make sure that thing's
Captain. After that rescue, I must say, I would never appreciate Lower Decks without you.
Oh, okay.
The Vanishing Inquisition owns you a lot.
Listen, I think
despite the Vanishing Inquisition is mostly a joke.
Well, that one kind of just touched a nerve on me because cause normally, it's fun and we put them to the rack, but then it's like, wait a minute, this show's not that bad.
Yeah,
I made a nuisance of myself.
It grows. It needs some time, but it grows on you. It needs some time.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that
eventually
I was talking his own thing when I knew they don't take guests on the Inquisition usually, but if this is a little more important.
No, that's another.
No.
That Duncalf's Inquisition is another Inquisition.
Yeah.
The Vanishing Inquisition is my Inquisition.
Yeah.
That nobody cares.
Yeah. And like I said a few times, it's like when wasn't even the Spanish Inquisition, when Queen Mary got on the English throne and started doing her own Inquisition thing and went even farther than the Spanish. Because on the continent, they didn't really burn people very often. There was other ways to kill them. Mary started burning people. And I lost family in that. So, I mean, granted, we're talking 500 years ago, but still, to hold it. You're kind of
she was hot, and yet she was hot, but yet she didn't have children.
Yeah. Came up with another comment.
All right. Now we want to distribute.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah. I figured Netflix would eventually go ahead along because they are that contract, but. the fact that it took them so damn long to announce it, I think, speaks quite a bit. Because they've been announcing season 3 for who knows how long. We're going, they've done the thing, and only this past, Star Trek Day did they finally admit, okay, yeah, we'll cover season 3.
Steven, even if Cuties didn't screw up Netflix internationally, I would not pay to see Star Trek Discovery on Netflix. I get my juice from Pirate Bay.
Now, I think.
Come on.
I think the delay might be they were negotiating a lower price.
Oh,
the
lower prices are too high for me.
Well, for what they're going to pay for Discovery, I think, because there was a lawsuit. Netflix was fighting the contract because their contention was, we did not sign on to this for Kurtzman to spend like a drunken sailor. And Kurtzman,
I would rather pay.
Went to court. Netflix won.
I would rather pay for Amazon Prime. They have NCIS New Orleans there.
I need to watch more Amazon. But do we still have Amazon?
Yeah, we still have Prime.
Okay, yeah, we had to cut a few things because the charge would come at the wrong time, and now we're looking about
They had the man.
Actually, we're getting Amazon Prime cheaper than it usually is.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's right. Because we're on benefits, so they got a lower rate. So.
Oh, they had the man in High Castle on Amazon Prime, but that series is too depressive. It gave me chills.
Once they won that case, though, it's like, okay, we're not spending what you think you want us to spend on. We already paid for the entire one.
Yeah, with no return, with diminishing profits. That's not worth it.
So I think it's like just they were contractually obligated to carry it, but not pay what Kurtzman was demanding. So it's like, okay, we'll pay you this much. Is probably what the same thing they're paying for all the other Star Trek shows, or less. And that's all you get.
Should be working pro bono from now on.
Yeah, it might be. Who knows? It's like, if anything, you owe us money, Sparky.
Look. Kurtzman was good when he did Hercules and Xena and Fringe. That was his prime. Now he's decrepit. He's pathetic.
It's debatable how good he was back then.
Let Star Trek go. Give to someone else. Stop doing the scrap. We're not paying for it. We have torrents.
And I think what's going to happen, they're ripping off Andromeda for the third season. They're not even hiding it.
Oh, they say. Oh, look, the leak was this. Somebody dropped an Omega particle in the Alpha Quadrant, and subspace became screwed. Nobody can warp. Dark Ages ensues. Then comes Discovery, and Discovery don't necessarily use a warp drive, and they find a way to make things great again. Ironically.
Yeah, it's basically them ripping off Andromeda.
Yeah, but Andromeda they don't screw the Alpha Quadrants.
I didn't say they did it well. They're doing it well.
Yeah.
They'll
Until maybe the 5.
And the weird thing is they're ripping off another Roddenberry show.
Yeah.
In which case, I think Rod Roddenberry there is not just there for geek cred now. He's also there because you're suing yourself, Rod.
Nah, he need that juicy.
Yeah.
He need the royalties. In that juicy money. Come on, pay me, or else you don't have your show. I don't know how much the Roddenberry family has a hold on Star Trek rights.
They really don't. Gene sold the rights off a long time ago.
In that case, CBS
didn't share anyway, because originally when Jack Lord was approached to play the captain, he wanted 50% ownership. There wasn't 50% left to give him. Desilu had the majority rights on that. Gene had maybe 12%, and it's still split up into some of the things. So and I think sometime in the late 70s or somewhere in the 70s, he sold off the rights completely.
And still have the nerve to say to Leonardo Nimoy, no, the great star in the show is Bill. It's not the. I only own 12% of the show, but the great star is Bill. Screw you, Leonard.
Well, Shatner was the lead.
He was one lead.
Yeah.
He was one lead.
Yeah. That's all the way the contracts was working out there, and also where they were in the food chain and the acting thing.
He was one color switch from leaving the show. Switch from yellow to red, you are out.
Yeah. No, I figure. I kind of reconcile the New Voyages episodes for a while of the Force didn't come along. Shatner wants out. Hawaii Five-0 doesn't take off, and Jack Lord's a little more amenable. So they recasted Darren Stevens style, and now Jack Lord is the command. To explain the King of Rock and Roll pompadour there.
Yep.
Let's see. You got Stephen
That's
Klein.
Capitalism, baby.
Let me go and put this up here. You think season 1? I need to do this more often. You think season 1 of CDN Network initially have? I think. Well, one, it'll finally put the end of the debate. It's successful. Oh, really?
No, it will not.
Yeah, it'll. Let's see just how quickly it dies, and we'll actually have the ratings to cite in there.
The ratings were scored already.
Part of the problem is the CBS All Access doesn't share their numbers, so nobody can say for sure how
they lie. They will lie.
But when the Nielsen's finally, or when this thing actually hits broadcast TV, and we got actual ratings we can look at, because those are publicly known numbers. There's no way to hide from that one.
I know they subscribe to New Voyages. What the fuck? There, solved problem. There's another series, fun series on YouTube. Besides New Voyages. Trying to find who.
Well, it's the New Voyages. That's Colley's bunch. Yeah, when the edicts came down on the fan film stuff, and he just pulled the plug on all productions and just we'll do a licensed theme, which I still like to see one of these days.
Oh, man.
But I got quoted by Trek.
We are what, just more 40 or 50 years away from public domain.
They're not going to let this go public domain.
Oh.
As long as they're still actively producing it, they can maintain the copyright. Like
at this rate, either goes to public domain or they will go bankrupt before that. Like it's like that joke: Fox owned by Disney, Disney owned by Pornhub, Pornhub owned by Playboy.
Yeah, still because the Kingsland sets, that's pretty much as it was back in the day. Walls are missing. You see the lights over here. It's hot. It's uncomfortable. But it looks good on camera.
Continuous. Yeah. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that's Vic Mignogna's bunch.
Yeah.
But but New Voyages, their sets are all closed in. They're piping in sound effects. Everything looks beautiful and then to the eyeball. The buttons work on the screens all work. That's your museum level simulated thing. This is what it's like, a complete round set. It's a great little experience, and I would like to go see it one of these days. But the Kingsland sets, that's as it was. The bridge doesn't have a view screen. Anytime it's on there, it's a CGI thing. They plan on doing a view screen, but they never got around to it because nothing really called for it to be looking at the view screen stuff. And have a piece of green screen there, do a CGI, done.
Don't the original Enterprise has a window on top?
That's been a debate for a while because actually there's quite a few scenes. Well, there's not quite a few, but there are some scenes in the original series.
It's either a window or a light.
I think the zoom in on the bridge and the cage is pretty much, it's more poetic license. You can kind of zoom in and everything would get into the inside there, but in actuality, no, you don't look up and see the sky.
No,
because like I said, there's a few scenes like even in Where No Man Has Gone Before. They're coming on the bridge. It's kind of a low angle camera view, and you see the ceiling. And it's a solid gray ceiling.
Well,
they didn't shoot it. Usually lights are sticking out there. But.
Well, it would be a too easy target.
Mm-hmm.
One torpedo away, you blow up the entire command.
There's one thing I kind of because I'm pretty sure they did some shooting of the Captain Pike film on those sets, but they showed the wrong view screen for that period. And it's like you didn't need to do a CGI thing, because on that set in the auxiliary control set, they have the proper view screen for kind of the captain, from the menagerie. They've got one of those. It'd be an easy thing to pull that out and move it to the bridge. Okay, well, one, I wouldn't transfer. I would do a quick cosmetic change and make the Orville in the Star Trek universe. Because other than the outside appearance of the ship and the uniforms, and it is a Star Trek show.
Yes.
Put them in Star for the uniforms, give them phasers, and somehow change the design of the ship to have nacelles instead of loops. Bungo, Star Trek Orville.
No. Keep the loops. Keep the loops. It's a natural progression of technology.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Because they need to fix that warp problem that was screwing the subspace. Remember, they could not go past warp 5.
Well, they they dropped that one pretty quickly.
Then they fix it. They fix it using transwarp. But even transwarp will eventually.
They just did better warp drive. Because they realized rather quickly, okay, we just cut ourselves off of the knees here with this one. That's what happens when you put your message up before the story.
Wow.
They want to do a big environmental story, and then okay, wait a minute, we're going the same puny speeds as the original ship now. That doesn't work too well. So they started, more and more start saying, okay, we've been given dispensation to exceed the limits, and then you never heard about it again.
Well, they make a big shoot. They make a big shoot in the foot when they can use the Enterprise to crisscross the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. But that's kind of the rationale behind the folding nacelle thing. Folding up nacelle struts on the Voyager.
Forget
Voyager. They've got a tighter warp bubble than they do as much damage. The reality is, it looks interesting.
Voyager is not a starship. Voyager is a sex toy. Yes, the lady knows. The lady knows. Those are 2 batteries, and the body of the ship is something funny.
Okay. That's also the case. Waste of potential. If they could solve that ending, one, drop entirely the thing about Tuvok going nuts, because it didn't serve any purpose. And instead of the fairly happy future we see, where with just a few things we wouldn't like done better. I know, have the Federation on the brink of collapse because of the Borg.
Well, can you kill Neelix in this? In the first episode, please?
Just taking out that transwarp conduit we saw back 20 years ago, and that's a much better motivation for Janeway to do all the things she did. And then it's like at the end, you make a bigger deal. If the transwarp conduits collapse, the Borg are crippled; they can't go anywhere.
Oh.
At least not for a very long time until they rebuild that conduit. So that buys about 30, 40 years. And then make a bigger deal about the homecoming. Because now you got the ships in there. Okay, and there's Earth. And they end it. Are you crazy? We need to see him meeting the families at the dock. You know.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'd go, hey, you got that gal that played Minuet. She looks enough like Kate Mulgrew. There's her sister Phoebe. Have a few other people around and shoot the works. Katharine Hepburn was still alive at the time. Perfect for Janeway's mother. Don't even have to give her any dialogue.
They could not pay for it.
Oh, at that time they probably would have. And exactly, no dialogue. Don't have to stand up. Put her in a wheelchair. You know, have him.
They
hug.
are too greedy, man. They are
Kate
too
Mulgrew would have
greedy.
thrown her own money in that. She loves Katharine Hepburn. She modeled her career after her for a while. So she would have donated for the cause to get that one. She'd have done the episode for free.
I have serious doubts about that.
Mm-hmm. She did a one-woman show as Katharine Hepburn. So yeah.
Captain who?
No, Katharine Hepburn.
Oh.
So yeah, you know. So yeah, I
don't
think
believe Katharine Hepburn would go for it.
You never know. Yeah.
Oh, now she's dead. How we could possibly?
I know. At the time, forget it. But at the time, she was still alive, and that seems still working. Or at least
now they need a time machine to do that.
She's doing interviews. You know, so. That would have been a perfect way to end it right there. And you have Tom and Admiral Paris meeting and showing off the new baby. You know?
Meh.
Harry meeting his family. You could have played the whole thing and given it much better. Because one thing is shown, if you screw up the ending, you screw up the entire show.
No, they screwed the ending for Enterprise.
Give that last bit of the Game of Thrones, like, forget it. People aren't buying the books. People aren't buying the video. You know, it just tanks the entire franchise.
Wow.
I also think in the first movie, Nimoy did a little, came up with a better reply when they were talking about, we can have you back on Vulcan in 3 days. And they already said that thing where McCoy is talking about, he might stick around a while. And Nimoy had Spock's, that, if Dr. McCoy is remaining on board, then my presence here is essential. And he got some laughs, and they shot it a few times, but with both ways, the scripted line and then his little ad lib. And they went with a scripted line that they had gone with that line, with a shootback of Dr. McCoy is remaining on board, then my presence here is essential. A much better ending, gotten a laugh, and I think the movie would have done better. It's certainly been better received. But that kind of somber, serious, my job is complete.
Well, it's not called the motionless picture for nothing.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I was, when they said heading captain, I was expecting what he mentioned. It was Star Trek 6, second star to the right, straight down to the morning. That would have been perfect. Ended on an up note, not just out there. That way. Please.
No.
That's a little too casual.
Well, it's from when they stopped to care. They just want to finish.
Well,
finish, get your paycheck, and go home.
There's one guy, I'm blanking on the name, but David Fine. He was working with Robert Weiss on the Director's Edition. And I hope I planted a bug in his ear on Twitter when I said, if you can find footage of Nimoy doing that other line for the ending, put it in. It'll save the ending. And he liked it, so he liked to put a like on the comment. So you never know.
I think I break records. 2 hours and 44 minutes of live stream.
Oh, I've gone longer, but generally I've gone this long. Somebody's throwing something at me.
That's my longer to date.
Okay. Where
are everybody?
We got a response from Rosetta. Can't for a while, traveling with hubby. By a while, I mean a week or two. Okay, so Rosetta's going to be off of tweeting for a while. Nobody else has said a damn thing.
It's Saturday.
Which means they should be working.
They should be humping.
All right. So that here.
I could be humping, but my wife gets his period. Her period.
Yeah. Okay.
And Miss April could be humping, but you don't want to make a Betazoid wedding.
Well, she's across the room doing her, kind of moderating. So let's see. Andy Trucker, no response. Justin Proper, no response. Rob, and he never checks his message anyway. Tom's probably busy, man, I think, because he uploaded a video. Yeah.
Captain Sirius, what you get against green screen nudity?
As long as it ain't my body on the green screen. Yeah.
It'll be your wedding, damn it.
Oh yeah.
He just doesn't want to show off his appendectomy.
Oh no, the scar's the least of the issue right now. It's the rest of the carcass. No one wants to see that.
Those are not scars. That's a badge of honors.
Yeah. Well, we got this one here on my arm from car crash. That, threw my ass across the floor.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Robert April, your scars are badges of honor, and your spine is engineering wet dream.
Man, my spine also has a bunch of fractures on there from that.
And that's why he's an engineering achievement. Keep that thing up is an engineering achievement more than a medical procedure.
That's why we need to leave Florida. The state was trying to kill me.
You're in Florida?
I was in Florida.
You're where you are now?
We're in Denver now. But
oh.
A lot of stuff is back here, but no.
So I guess right.
Yeah.
So I guess right. You are in the perfect place for escape from Denver.
Oh.
You're in the perfect spot.
At the time I was, driving up to here and I-95, and then suddenly a microburst hit, and thing is, I don't remember any. All I know is I'm driving along, and then next thing I do, I got a vague image of being loaded into a helicopter. Okay, I think it's in a helicopter. Then when I finally come to, I'm in the ER, being admitted. A state patrol is having, you've been in an accident, your cat is dead, and the car's, okay, fine.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Broke the arm here and up here, fractured the elbow here, thrown out of the vehicle. So.
And the cat wastes his last life.
Yeah. My back was apparently looked like the San Andreas fault system, which is all over the place. And
that could be worse.
Yeah,
it could be bad.
Could have wound up in the path of the thing instead of away from it, and wound up like my cat. I gotta grab the phone here. Hold on.
Well, wait 300 more years, and you can fix your cat.
Oh.
Just more 3 centuries.
Oh no. Anyway, you're in the middle of a live stream, so don't worry about your damn phone.
Okay, who just tried to call?
Let me see.
No, hold on. It's not showing. A 303 number 79. Ah,
okay.
yes, my empty room here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe they left a message.
Okay, I deliver my first fleet.
Okay.
Let's see the chat. Captain James away.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, Captain on deck with a child.
Oh, you got Baby Yoda.
Okay. Okay, folks, we switch franchise now. I need to get my helmet. Oh, God. Be right back.
Number 47. Now, how do you remember the species? Is number 47, so it's 8472. I think it's just they went back to their space, and we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, no, folks like Kowalski make a big deal about. See, they're not carrying it. Nobody said that Netflix wasn't going to carry. But it was noteworthy the fact that they hadn't announced it for a very long time. Anyway, I think it took them so long to announce the time is the fact. But I think they had to get the price knocked down a few million. We'll put the child and get this sit up straight. Yeah, for those who haven't seen these in the store yet, these Baby Yodas don't have feet. They're sort of a beanbag thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure there's really much story potential actually if you look at 8472 because they're just plain mean. So you only do so much story material of Peachy that's just plain mean for the sake of being mean. So,
okay, I'm back. If we're going to talk about the Mandalorian, I need to be properly dressed.
Okay.
Yeah. I really need to buy an armor. And after knowing about your life experience, maybe I should.
Let's see. Why don't you think CBS actually going to... Well, CBS All Access is about to become no more. They're being folded into Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus.
I like one comment. There's a parody channel or account on Twitter called CBS. That's it. We just put that as a joke. We didn't think they'd make it seriously.
Maybe they should.
They are. It's Paramount. Call it Paramount Plus. Okay, fine. You and Disney hash that out. But for the most part, I think it's the problem with copyright lawyers don't really have a good grasp of fans and remember the old Paraborg days? Shortly after Viacom bought them out, they're trying to shut down all the fan sites and everything else, and it went kind of disastrously, and they had to back off.
Yeah. The streaming services are one disaster away from absolute disaster.
Yeah.
I can't pay for 3, 4, 5 streaming services. Yeah, damn it.
Yeah. It's getting to the point we just might as well get cable.
My cable is shit, but come on. I have some content.
Cable doesn't have Peacock.
It's like folks can only afford so many streaming services.
Dude, I will not cross the streams, no matter what.
Don't. Okay.
Why don't you think your CBS All Access or even the Orville YouTube channels take advantage of the channels by providing more content, live streams, get people more interested in their product? Because they don't have enough quality products. I'm reading Stephen Klein comments.
You notice the viewing numbers on the stuff they are putting out are crap.
Yeah, you can't rely on that.
Well, because the way YouTube normally works is, they got thousands of views on certain things, but virtually no interaction with it, which you can compare towards the views they're getting on these items from embedded ads.
Or else the panel should be
like or any kind of interaction. It's a totally different video.
if the audience was all that great, we should be a panel packet on StreamYards and at least 1,000 people on chat.
I think
But
I'm just getting a lot of lower deck stuff because it has been so talked down by various outlets. This is crap. Don't even bother them. People aren't bothering. So
oh, come on, Captain. Let's do alliance here right now. We are both going to start to talk this thing up.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying. That's why I keep going out of here.
Well, you have an ally on me.
Trying to counter some of the negativity on this thing. It's like, look, guys, this ain't
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I'm tired of bad. I'm tired of negativity. Yeah. Come on. And Seth will not resume production of season 3. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
By the time season 3 is released, we'll have something else to see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have another fix entirely.
Yeah. But like with Doomcock saying this is worse than it is. It's defiling the corpse of Star Trek with okay, that's over the.
No, that's too much.
Yeah,
that was Picard last year.
Yeah, Discovery and Picard. Yeah, jump on all you want. They're both garbage, but this isn't part of that. Okay.
And then look again.
No, you guys said it. You're going to sideline Kurtzman as possible. Why is this not the case here? It's the first show to come out since that little revelation that they're trying to sideline him. But he's involved in this. Explain that. Yeah. Especially
because they are stuck. Doomcock is stuck in negativity.
And what videos I have seen of like interviews with man, and they're doing a thing with the Mad Libs thing, Star Trek.com. There were no Kurtzman people there. It was McMahon and his writers.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's not Kurtzman. They're just giving him a check to him and his minions, and then bye-bye, go away.
Yep.
Go back to trying to defile Clarice, and you keep playing with your Section 31 process.
Section 31 never leaves the ground.
That's never gonna.
Never take off.
Michelle Yeoh has already gone on to other things. They pissed her off anyway. They lied to her about what was going to happen with Captain Georgiou.
Most likely actors to star on COVID season 2 if season 1 was a real TV show.
Yeah, and there are indications no, Picard is not going to happen because nobody wants to insure Patrick Stewart.
He can run upstairs.
No, the beer bug is not exactly as bad as everyone says, unless you're in your 80s. Then yeah,
he can run. He can run upstairs.
Like if you're in your 80s and not the greatest of health anymore, then no, you are in the high risk group, and no one's going to pay for you to get sick on stage.
Let's give him a segue. Damn it. I know they are in the 24th century, but you can't transport him every time.
Well, they're speculation was they were going to kill him. I think the plan was they were going to kill him off, and I don't know, transfer his.
Oh come on! They should not even started.
I don't know. Well, especially they do this because the one I still didn't really buy the whole Romulan supernova. That was a JJ thing.
Oh come on!
That part alone kind of puts it. Well, this is not proper Star Trek. It's a JJ verse thing. But when he goes up to Starfleet Command and the holograms and they show the disco prize, that's it. Wrong universe. Don't care.
Everything they did is Romulan propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
They are demoralizing Starfleet. They are demoralizing the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
They ruined the dream.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be an utopia. It's supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be funny sometimes. It's supposed to be ridiculous sometimes. It's supposed to be progress. But no, they're going backwards.
I think Kurtzman is behind it only in the sense that he was open to the idea of a Star Trek comedy that made fun of Star Trek. That's it.
Well, I'm not against that at this
I don't
point.
think he has anything to do with the production. He certainly has nothing to do with it because none of his writing or anybody else's from Secret Out is in the writing credits. This thing, it's all McMahon and his bunch of writers on his side of the fence. Secret Hideout and the 15 executive producers are only there because the contract requires it. Other than that, no, they don't. They're not involved with the production of it. And I think the ultimate truth was if they finally do drive out Kurtzman and his merry band of morons and Secret Hideout, the only change you really see is shorter credits. Because you won't have all these executive producers who don't produce a damn thing. And in credits, you won't have the Secret Hideout call out.
And they never work one way.
Science, Roddenberry Entertainment, and CBS. That's it.
And they never did 1 day of hard work in their lives.
Yeah.
They can write action to. They can write drama to save their lives. They can lie. They can act. They can do anything. They don't know how to write. They don't know how to produce.
All Kurtzman can do is rip off.
Damn it! How these people get money? I wish I had a work like that. I don't need to do nothing. We don't need to do crap for the whole day. And here's the money.
Kurtzman somehow gets associated with the right people and just keeps moving up the ladder somehow.
Amazing.
Piggybacked along with Hercules and Xena. Apparently has Hercules. His Xena script was a ripoff of a Hercules script from the previous season. And got hooked up with JJ, so that mounted them. And JJ Trick did make a boatload of money.
Yeah, they made Alias, they made Fringe.
A boatload of money because they spent a boatload of money making the damn thing. It didn't make that much more than the motion picture did. Like, there's a graphic I got for that. Let's see. They got the box office grosses adjusted for inflation. Now, if I can call that up here. It started. Doesn't matter which folder I put it in. Here we are. All right. Nope. Okay. All right. Now, oops. Do a little share screen here. There we go. There's all the, here's Star Trek motion picture, Star Trek, JJ Trek. And adjusted for inflation, here's the motion picture.
Yep.
And JJ Trek was on 3 times as many screens. And also cost a hell of a lot more to make than Star Trek motion picture, even with the inflated budget of like $44 million they had on this one.
And if you can read that, you don't need glasses.
So it's like, zoom it a bit here.
Oh, that's better. Thanks.
There we go.
Wow.
But even the motion picture made money. It was profitable. Yep. Not as profitable as they liked, but I'm pretty sure more profitable than JJ Trek.
My God. The motionless picture was better than film 4?
Again, this one, it had been 10 years since the old went off. So the animated wasn't quite there. It just kept the up. But you go down there, everyone goes wacky about Wrath of Khan. And yeah, it was most profitable because it cost next to nothing to make, and made all that money. It's like, because I think the total budget for the Wrath of Khan was like 18 million maybe, or 12 million. mainly because they already had the sets all built. They use a lot of stock footage. Because
wait a minute, the Search for Spock was less profitable than the Wrath of Khan? What the fuck?
Well, but
Generations was scrap, Insurrection was scrap,
crossover hit because
Star Trek 5 was scrap, Nemesis was scrap, First Contact was scrap.
You got down to here. That's when you start getting into like these are the ones that really lost money.
Yep.
And I think Final Frontier made it up fairly, in the home video thing. But and then of course we got
Sadly the home video is dead.
Yeah, and Star Trek Beyond, which was an outright bomb actually, because the domestic box office is like 50-some million, and the movie cost much more than that. Because the general math, it would come in right in between here. The worldwide gross is 158 million, so like worldwide it kind of broke even, but the domestic box office was terrible. And I think actually it may not have even they may have actually lost money. But the general rule of thumb for movies in general is you have to make at least twice your production budget. Usually, nowadays like 3 times your production budget in order to make a $1 profit. And some of these movies it cost them well over $100 million to make. So
amazing.
Marvel movie, then you can probably get that $1 billion box office gross, at least before they close all the theaters. And they forgot why the original movies, at least up to most of them, were reliable moneymakers because they didn't cost that much to make. You had the standing sets, you had use the same uniforms you did before. Some changes in costume here and there, like with the 4 when they go in Slovenian clothing. But with J.J. Trick, they're trying to make a big Marvel Universe thing, and the audience just isn't there to draw that kind of money.
Okay, that helmet's too hot.
Yeah. I got plans to make my own Mandalorian helmet. Just gotta be able to get out to Hobby.
No. My suggestion: buy a fan, or at least be sure you had a little fan inside that helmet.
Yeah. Those were made out of cardboard and packing. Hope it wouldn't be too hot.
Oh come on! I need a functional helmet. I need something that will protect my head.
I'm not going to combat with.
Come on, it's supposed to be a Mandalorian helmet.
I'm not going to convention, but no.
I really need to buy an armor.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck's that? Oh, somebody's liking something.
Okay, bounce back and forth.
Maybe PJ's online.
And PJ's here.
PJ's here?
I sent you.
Where? Damn you!
Where is it?
PJ, where are you?
Send another link.
What?
Come on. He's backstage?
Hold on. I still have it here.
Damn it.
Try that again. There. Where am I? Here we go.
Come on, make my day.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, PJ.
Say hello, baby. Hello.
Dude.
So just send him a link.
When he will finally start to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Baby Yoda needs to talk someday.
Well, yeah. This guy's at Walmart. Doing hand thing.
Oh, PJ's on chat.
No. Just put him back here. I think it's kind of in the way. No. Whoops.
Oh, be careful! Do not put him near the hammer.
Okay.
Imagine a baby Yoda with the power of Thor.
Oh boy. Only if he
and a baby Yoda with the power of Thor aboard a Starship Enterprise. You have a
now,
you have a nice you have a nice combination behind you. Baby Yoda plus Thor plus Enterprise.
Yeah. Now
the original Enterprise.
One of the big things about people saying say the Enterprise and Discovery is the same Enterprise. No, it isn't, because this is the Enterprise originally, 1/1000 scale. At 1/1000 scale, the Disco Prize is slightly bigger than this. So that's a bit too. The discrepancy is a bit big. Okay. This is all canon.
That coupling is a little bit too graphic.
This to that, back to this. And they can't use it. It's just a visual reboot. Oh, really? Visual reboot would be if you're using same design but slightly better materials, you know. Like instead of
what are you looking at?
Like, I don't know, polyester. But when you totally change the design, then you're violating the canon, because the appearance is part of the canon.
They get the pylons from the refit for the TOS movies, and
with added cutouts for
add cutouts. I don't know why.
It's because John Hayes likes cutout. That's about it.
And the nacelles look like something from Star Trek C, the Enterprise C. A little bit.
Where am I going?
Maybe.
Let's see.
The nacelles from the Enterprise they get for Discovery.
Here we go.
They're too flashy for the 23rd century.
Yeah, let's throw this up here.
Yeah, the models look great, PJ, but you can imagine what they are doing in dry dock. The ship's not ready and they are already broken.
Well, mainly I tried to cram in a bed, and it caused problems. Whoopsie.
That might be a continuing motif. Hey, remember when Enterprise B could not get anything ready for Tuesday? Wow.
Yeah, that was when things started going off the rails. Yeah.
Captain Robert Draper comes along and say, "Hold my beer."
About there. Poor baby. Okay, let's.
I bet your NX Enterprise see more battle damage from inside the dry dock than anything else in the Romulan War.
Actually, I bet that NX is probably the safest one in there, because it was still, I managed to have it in a box. It's the loose ones I know have gotten knocked off the shelf and busted. Let's see. Yeah, let's get a look here. This should put things in perspective here.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the original Enterprise. There's the Disco Prize.
Yeah, but the nacelles from the Disco Prize had that red and blue motif. The original Enterprise had just that red glow in the nacelles.
Actually,
no blues.
Once they did the remastering thing, it wasn't even this. It was really multicolored thing. The domes were frosted kind of orange, but there were Christmas lights inside those domes. So you had red, you had green, blue, different colors in there.
No, right. Take a look at the top of the saucer. That's a light. That's not a window.
Yeah.
We'll solve the problem.
Let's
There
see,
are
what
no
I-
windows. There are no windows in the Enterprise original bridge.
yeah, what I would do with this ship
That's not.
is it would not be the Enterprise. If it was, it wouldn't be the Constitution class. I'd change the registry number.
Yep. Too fancy for the 23rd century.
It would be Enterprise only in the sense that the fleet always has an Enterprise, but using the same registry number was to honor that particular Enterprise. Previous Enterprises, whatever. You know?
I gotta wonder
The
what
name
an
would-
aircraft carrier would look like if any of those enterprises.
Well, the original nuclear powered one was just about the same size as the original ship. That little compare. I'm not going to dig that up, but making a Star Trek in the picture section, there's a diagram that did up comparing the original Enterprise with the aircraft carrier Enterprise. The nuclear carrier, when I originally went, I dug this out of storage. I was originally going for the Playmates one, which is based on the AMT thing, which is one of the real size. But I couldn't get it. That's a Diamond Select one. And I found it for cheap somewhere. I think. But the AMT Enterprise, which is the same size as the 1/1000 kit of the Disco Prize, is slightly larger. So yeah, the size discrepancy is actually worse than what I showed the new models.
Obviously, the proper department has big fingers. They can't deal with little models anymore.
They're not even dealing with models; it's all CGI.
Well, we have to make a model first, no?
Not really. Just do it all on the computer.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know. It's a dying art form. That's also one thing about the Captain April fan film. They built their own 11-foot model of the Enterprise. Physical model shot on a green screen at Universal in Florida.
Well, so far as I am concerned, the only thing we need to be a physical model for you in a Captain Hobart movie is hire Kurt Russell to be your body double below the neck.
No, this Mickey Mouse guy, chiming in, he was going off on a tangent. But the big Captain April thing, and he was got a thing, and actually started contacting an actress with a female lead, and I had to step in and say, okay, hold it. Unless this guy is sitting on a boatload of money, there's not going to be any production. Okay. And I said, that if he asked me if I had anything, and I was like, not likely anytime soon, if ever.
Well, that's why I go for the fast, easiest,
and
cheapest solution. Write a fan fiction, or at least dream on.
What do we got?
I can dream.
What did you think of that? What did you think? What did I think of what?
What did you think of that? That what?
Yeah, you need to be more specific.
Come on, man, no puzzles. This is Star Trek, not Perry Mason. Even NCIS has more clues than that.
No, I had to contact the actress. Say, okay, he's gone off on a tangent. It's his crazy idea. I'm not, because when she came back, oh yeah, I like the sci-fi, and started asking about filming locations and form of payment. So, okay, this is about to go too far. The April movie.
April movie?
I liked it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't have gone the direction they went with the character Captain April, but it was a legitimate take.
If you got a bunch of money, a lot of money.
The actor was fine. I'm not so sure about the PTSD part, but And I'm also not so sure about. I would have made the uniforms a little closer to the pilot era thing, but they're okay. They're not too far off. At least they had hand lasers, but they called them phasers. So yeah, I got a few technical quibbles here and there with it.
Yeah.
Calling them phasers. The contours of the ship weren't quite right, and enough that I don't think you really could have corrected them during a refit very easily. They had the wrong view screen. And it's this little nippy. The story was fine. The acting was okay. It's just little nitpicky production stuff that I got problems with. And like I said, they looked like they were shooting on the
Okay, go back.
the Kingsland sets. Why aren't you using all the Kingsland sets?
Shit.
Other voices.
Oh, shit. Man down.
That was going weird. Okay. Well, as I was saying, if they're using the Kingsland sets, use them. They had engineering out there. They were doing green screens on stuff that I don't think they need to do green screens on, especially like the transporter room. Some things looked like they were using a. I got a problem with bug-eyed monsters. It's if they look good, but they look like they're doing green screen stuff with the transporter, and not on the transporter set. You got a transporter set there. Use it for God's sakes, okay? So you got to change console. So what? The console wheels out and you bring in the other one. There's some production moves I thought were questionable. But yeah, that's all nitpicky production stuff. And overall, I liked it. Yeah. I've been waiting for how long for the thing. I think they started filming like in 2018 at least. Now, the interesting, though, is when they finally drop Yorktown: A Time to Heal. Because that thing has been, 30 years in the making, pretty much. But I think they're finally going to release it in December. And it was covered in Starlog magazine. And then it'd be put aside because of real life. So we have been at this for over 3 hours. I don't grade things that much. I've gotten away from that. I tried it earlier, but no. It's not worth grading it. It's okay. It's good, And it's back. And we're back to the
What happened?
I don't know. You were there and then you're gone, but
For a moment, I think I lost you.
could be, I don't know. We're at the mercy of the hotel Wi-Fi or something.
You are in a hotel?
Yes, we're in a very nice hotel, but yeah.
Oh God.
We're being put up by the charity service we're working with. We're trying to find its place, but until then, so we're off the street.
Any tornado coming by?
Here, no.
So why are you in a hotel?
It gets us off the street. That's the thing.
I think I missed that episode.
No, it's working with some public service organization that Homes for All Veterans, what they call it. And they, so we're no longer sleeping.
Don't go.
Yeah. So we're not sleeping in the car because I don't think we'd survive sleeping in the car anymore. But yeah, we got a nice little place here, A couple of queen size beds, a bathroom, a little kitchen. We're doing pretty good.
No. I had no idea.
Yep. Usually the Wi-Fi is good. Wow. We've been at it for almost 3.5 hours here. I think I might as well shut it down because other things are coming up that I want to get into.
PJ also claims he has Wi-Fi problems.
He's always traveling.
Spain.
Yeah.
In Spain. My God, when is he gonna leave Spain? Damn it, COVID's gone by now.
Nobody left to kill.
Wow.
Everybody in Spain's got the immunity system of the gods right there. They have killed off the weak in Spain. So I think I'm going to wrap this up here. So, want to plug your channel? Now's your chance. Or anything else you want to plug. Or not.
6 people on. Little talk.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, for those watching this afterwards, PayPal, Patreon, subscribe to the link down below in the description. And PayPal is most immediate, but all are appreciated because anyone that
Well, Captain, it was a pleasure.
Not a problem.
Hey, anytime you want to come on.
Okay, you got a late comment here. I think Emma Watts is thinking about reading Star Trek. She, fixing Star Trek is a priority at Paramount because they need to get that thing making money again. So, get some sleep there, PJ. And we're not going to do the karaoke thing tonight because I need to get something to generate some revenue on my end. So,
have a nice COVID, PJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to throw in the Cafe Press Shop there again, but
Mine.
well, I just saw a general thing to your overall thing. And I think we'll go ahead and pull the plug here at that. So,
okay.
All right, shenanigans over.
Captain, once again, it was a pleasure to be with you.
All right.
Thanks. It was a great show.
I tried.
Hope to see you soon.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
All right. And we got shenanigans up in about less than an hour and a half over on Mary Mayhem's thing. I'll be in the chat on that. I may beg and plead to be on Marioki, but shenanigans, no, because I'm not that great at improv, I think. And there's a few things on there that just no. I would not respond well to the scenarios presented. There's a few games on there. No. If she does the May Your Bacon Burn thing again, yeah, it's supposed to be good-natured. It'll turn vicious inside of 5 minutes. Probably inside of 2 minutes before somebody decides to say something nasty. And Mary lets loose with the military-grade level, obscenities. So, it's fun to watch. I don't want to be in the middle of it. So, look at that. PayPal, Patreon, subscribe, down below, and we will talk at you later.